Nerdrotic.com.
Hello. Welcome to a live stream on Nerdrotic Live. It's been a long time. I totally forgot to share this on Twitter, so I'll probably do that as I live stream because I can multitask a little bit. So this is not the final episode for the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker. It's the penultimate episode with the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, and the nightmare is almost over, but the damage is done. So we'll see. We'll see. That's mainly what we're going to talk about because this episode was vintage Chris Chibnall. Arbitrary countdown clock. Sonic solves everything in the last 5 minutes. Nothing of significance really happened, including the flux. They barely mentioned it, but the doctor still likes girls. And Yaz really wants to scissor the doctor. Like, oh, so bad. Oh, so bad. And the Yaz and Doctor shippers are left with blue balls. Major gay baiting, but I got a little chuckle out of it. It was nice seeing the Doctor die over and over again, but she kept coming back, so can't win them all. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2022, which is starting out just like 2021 did with the horrible Doctor Who episode. It wasn't particularly woke or anything. It was a bottle episode that only had 5 cast members, 6. Somebody was on the phone. Oh wait, no, somebody sees fireworks at the end. So 7 cast members. They had a chance to redo the TARDIS interior and they redid it, and it still looks like a giant yellow spider died with a boner. And it had some Daleks in it because they need to have Daleks and stuff to maintain the rights. And all I can say is we've got 1 episode left, and that's in autumn. And then we get the 60th anniversary in 2023. I don't know if Russell T. Davies' season starts right after that. I imagine it doesn't. So in the next 2 years, we're going to get 2 episodes of Doctor Who after the abysmal, horrific, catastrophic failure that was the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen, and Chris Chibnall's run. I don't know how it survives this. The only thing I can think of, and that's basically what I want to talk about today, is like everything relies on who the next doctor is. And I think all possibilities are out there. I wouldn't be surprised. I think this is a long shot, but I wouldn't be surprised if they recast an old doctor, at least for the special. Because isn't it strange that the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen, is going to regenerate and then show up in the next episode? So either she's not going to be in the 60th anniversary, or she's going to somehow be in it after she just regenerated, which is weird. But I don't know. I thought it was weird that Matt Smith regenerated 1 episode after the the 50th anniversary. But we'll find out what you guys think. Welcome everyone who's here. Yeah, I didn't do this on the main channel because I'm waiting for Perry. By the way, Perry, if you're out there, wait, Az is on the phone. Should I pick it up? Of course. Hi, you want to come on? You want to come on the live stream? Yeah. I'll send you a link. I'm glad. I didn't want to bother you, man. I don't know if you wanted to watch. It was so terrible, but yeah, I'll send you a link right now, and I'll fix the thumbnail after the episode. So, hey everyone, Az is coming. See you in a second. That's good. Sending him the link right now. I fucking love what I do. Even if I have to watch like shitty Doctor Who, and it is sad. I mean, oh my God, I'm gonna admit something really embarrassing to you guys when Az gets on. What I was doing, why I'm a few minutes late, because I was actually ready to go, but then a video came up on YouTube and I had to watch it all, and it just reminded me of how fucking good this show used to be and how fucking far it's fallen. And I got a little emotional. I love this show. I'm not embarrassed to say that. I fucking love Doctor Who. It is probably my favorite thing. Marvel Comics used to be my like favorite thing in the world, and I still love like Daredevil and all that stuff. But like, I don't know. Now that we're heading to the end, it surprises me how much it still like it continues to sink in, like how fucked up this show got and how unnecessary it was. Let's get him the link. And then I will tell you what I was watching. And I had to collect myself a little bit before we started the live stream. So he should be here in just a moment. And this should give me a chance to... if I pop this up, you're going to hear me for a second. So just... Oh, wow. Why is there a commercial? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, I'm on Nerdrotic Live. That's why. That's why commercials come up. I'll keep an eye out for Az, and I will try to talk while I share this. So, again, thanks, everyone, for being here. We're going to put this up on Twitter. I'm not going to put anything fancy. I'll just put live with Az and a pointy finger, and we are good. Az, if you're in there, I'll be right there. Boom. There he is. Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
I was good. I was waiting. I was just like waiting for a message going, hey, do you wanna talk about Doctor Who?
I'm sorry.
And then it never came. I was like, Gary might have been like, I don't know. So I'm gonna call him up because I didn't even know you're streaming. I'm gonna call him up. I'm gonna go, Gary, come on. Let's give 1st of January of the new year. Let's give people what they want.
Let's do it.
Piss out of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I put it on my schedule on my website, and I'm like, I don't know. I was up super late watching videos on Jack Murphy. I got to bed at 10 o'clock this morning. Dude, Medicare's live stream was so good.
I just saw that 1 minute that Jeremy posted, and I was like, oh, that is the most savage thing I think I've heard in I don't know how long.
That was the most that was vintage Medicare right there. That was he was
sounding good as well.
Yeah.
You know, long live Medicare.
Long live Medicare. I hope he's recovered from his illness and stuff. So but yeah, you know, it's what we talked about on Friday Night Tights. Like there's certain things like Star Wars, I could give a fuck at this point, but Doctor Who, no. Doctor Who, it was so deliberate. It was so fucking evil what they did to the fan base that I am just not going to let this shit go. This doesn't get let go. I am not going quietly into the fucking night about this.
You're right.
So yelling and fucking screaming. They're gonna, and I think it's good because I think all of us, and I mean Jay, Mahler getting in there, Critical Drinker, you, me, Bulls Trek, everyone who's a Dan, Noel, all of us, problem being all of us who've come from different perspectives on this have all met in the same place in the end. Like this was shit. It was unnecessary. It really, I mean, you can't put a number, a cost, or anything on how much this show meant to so many people for that many decades, generations of little boys and little girls, of adults, men and women who got so much enjoyment out of this show, and it could have kept going.
Yeah, I started watching in 84, I think, around about there. Maybe 81. You know, I was young. I was like a little kid when I started watching Doctor Who, and it was Mr. Baker, Tom Baker. And I watched it through to the canceling, till it got cancelled with Sylvester McCoy. Watched the movie when that came out in 96, and then I've seen every episode of New Who. Well, apart from the Whittaker's run, by the way, because I've, but up until Whittaker's run, I'd seen every episode of Doctor Who, and I don't know how many of those episodes I'd seen multiple times. And the excitement, I just remember the excitement around Doctor Who coming back in 2005, and we'd had some amazing doctors. Tennant just elevated it to a level, and Matt Smith was a great actor, and Capaldi's just like, man, that man's just incredible. And just to see it, so something that was created for families. This this show wasn't, when it came back, it didn't come back with the premise of saying, hey, look, all you people that used to watch Doctor Who, this is just for you. No, it's like we want to hopefully bring that audience back, people who remember Doctor Who, but it's 2005, and it's a new generation, it's a new era, and we want to bring a new generation on board as well, but we don't want to exclude the previous. So there's a lot of familiarity, and at the same time they changed a few things to modernize it and whatnot, and it was great. It was for everyone, kids and adults alike. And then Chibnall and the BBC, because the BBC are as complicit as Chibnall, and they took something so beautiful and so inclusive, and then said we're gonna make it more inclusive by making it actually more exclusive and limiting. And that pretty much sums up far left ideology, inclusivity through exclusivity, and the two do not work together. And it's just, I remember Noel crying on the Timeless Children. I'm just like, oh, I can't blame him.
No.
I can't blame that. This is decades upon decades of loving a show, to have somebody with the blessing of the company tear everything down, tear it all down, so you can literally say, hey, we're gonna bring in some diversity. And it's just like, no, you're just showing how fucking racist you are. You're just showing how you will never learn about true inclusivity, because the show has always had that. Always had that. You just wanted to change one character.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to do. You wanted to take the one character and you wanted to do all your ideological changes through that. And heartbreaking. Look, even now on my desk, I got, it's always around me. There's like a TARDIS behind me, just on that shelf as well. And it's just that, this is stuff has always, look behind you. I can see behind you. Look, all the TARDIS, Tom Baker and the purple, the scarf and the purple, and there and above it, and then I can see the console, the console there, and and it's just like this was family time. This was a time where older viewers of Doctor Who could bring their kids to Doctor Who, or could bring their grandkids to Doctor Who, and could have those moments that we had as a child where your mum's laughing at you because you're pulling a cushion above your face because you're scared because Doctor Who's doing something scary. All those wonderful little moments. But no, it's now been torn down, and children have had that taken away from them as well as adults. And it's now you can no longer have fun, folks. You can only have ideology, and it's a shame. It's just a crying shame. And then this episode, it was like, I liked the concept of it, and the execution was garbage. And I just thought to myself, watching this, I thought, number one, the standout character is an Irish receptionist who's acting the fucking arse off the Doctor. And other than that, I thought, just imagine if this was a Tennant episode, or a Capaldi episode, or even an Eccleston episode, or even a Matt Smith episode, just any of the previous Doctors, and just how likely it would be elevated because of that. But no, we had to get bogged down with stupidity like, hey, Yaz is a big fat leather. What a fucking surprise.
Yeah.
We had to have Dan be a caricature of a person because he's not actually a person whatsoever. Just going, hey, why don't you tell the Doctor you're in love with her? Well, I didn't even tell myself that I was a big fat les, you see, so I can't even. And it's just like, oh, fuck off. Just fuck off and entertain people. Stop it with your, you've wrecked the Doctor. Now you're trying to fucking do another ideological turn. And we all know this is going to lead to a snog between the Doctor and Yaz before she regenerates. And then the BBC can go, hey, gays, we just did for you what we did for the blacks, with the Timeless Children. So now we've got gays and blacks. Look how good we are. So piss off. Just, oh my God.
And it's funny that they turn a Doctor into a woman. You can flip the perspective on this, and the Doctor's still into chicks. Since most women are into men on the planet. So it doesn't really matter. It's the Doctor's supposed to be asexual. I did like the whole David Tennant, Ninth Doctor, 10th Doctor with Rose thing, and then you learn your lesson. That's when he went, no, I can't do this again. Right?
Well, I watched Deep Breath yesterday.
Yep.
And Lady Vastra, when she was talking to Clara, and Clara's just like, he's got old. What's going on? He's young. He's got old. I don't get it. And and Lady Vastra says to her, she says, "Why do you think, he's older than he's hundreds of thousands, he's thousands of years, hundreds of years old. I think by that time,
Couple thousand years.
couple of thousand years old.
Yeah.
And she says, why do you think he puts on a young face?" And Clara's kind of like, and he's like, it's flirtation, he's flirtation. And so you think, okay, so is he flirting because he wants a woman? And it's just like, no, he's flirting because he wants to be accepted. He puts the young faces on so people just accept him. And they don't question that this guy is, X amount of 100 years old, 1,000 years old. And it was just a kind of lovely line because, we know the Doctor's old. Yep. We've seen older iterations of the Doctor. And then in New Who, after the Time War and after everything that went on in the Time War, we noticed that the Doctor's regeneration cycles have suddenly become a lot younger. We had a 39, 40-year-old Christopher Eccleston. Then we had a 34-year-old David Tennant. Then we had a 27-year-old Matt Smith. And you can, when you kind of put that perspective into the Time War and the fallout, and you can say, he just wants to fit in now. He just wants to, he doesn't want to have that sort of aloofness about him, that age, that experience, look about him. He just wants to fit in. And with Rose, he kind of fit in a bit too comfortably.
Too much.
Yeah. And then realized what had happened. Oh man.
It's an arc. It's all part of the, I'm just getting out of the Time War, and it was something for him to get lost in. And it wasn't right what he did. It wasn't fair to Rose.
No.
And then even flirting with Amy, in the beginning, he's like, no, I can't do this. And he started flirting again with Clara. And, that's why they got a little meta at the end when they were talking about, this is why they were getting us prepared for Capaldi, when they said that, they're like, they mention it like through the script a couple of times, like, hey, yeah, this is going to be a much older, and they knew like the new younger crowd might have a hard time with it. And they did. They did. But
the meta, sorry, Gary, but the meta-ness of that is actually quite interesting because the audience have been so they have done exactly what the show wanted, which is put themselves in the position of the companion. And that's exactly what it is. So all the young ladies that love Tennant and love Matt Smith, they were Clara and they were Amy, and they were Rose. And then suddenly they had the Clara reaction because he was Capaldi and he was older. And they were just like, but this isn't the Doctor. The Doctor's this young, flirty, excitable man. So in a meta way, it was actually really interesting because that's exactly the reaction that the companion would have. And Capaldi in Deep Breath at the end when he comes back for Clara. And he says, I'm not your boyfriend, Clara.
Yep.
And she says, I never said that you were. And he said, I didn't say that it was your mistake.
Yeah.
And it was, because now he's back to that. I am back to that sage now. I am back to that responsible, together Doctor that I don't need to feel that I have to flirt with the companions. I just have to be with the companions. I want to show them the universe. I want to show them how amazing it is. And yes, there's going to be adventures, and yes, there's going to be danger. Oh man, God, this show used.
Well, yeah, it's such a loss because they were, even in the Capaldi era, even when Moffat started to lose it towards the end, it still felt like it was all part of one story. And this character of the Doctor through four people up to Capaldi was progressing. There was a character arc there, and everything did mean everything. Again, it gets lost in the end when Moffat is trying to capitulate to the Piers Wenger came in. Like, he was producing Doctor Who towards the end, and I think I don't know if he got elevated to programming or whatever, but I distinctly remember somebody coming into my shop in 2012 and saying there was some regime change at the BBC, and it was one of my British customers, and they're like, this isn't going to be good. This is not going to be good. So I had somebody warning me back then. And I'm like, well, the show's so popular right now. Like, why would they fuck it up? But boy, was I naive. So, it's not unlike Gandalf. All right. Gandalf is basically an angel, a very powerful being. And they put Gandalf and all the other wizards in the bodies of old men so people wouldn't be intimidated and they would be more of a sage, more of a grandfatherly figure. And what's great is, throughout the book, and you even get this in the movies, you see Gandalf's frustration with being trapped in this fucking old body. And it's kind of the same for the Doctor now, because although the Gallifreyans start out humanoid, but once they are, Time Lords, there's something else. So and it was kind of cool seeing, the Doctor's time when the Doctor, what was it, name of the Doctor, when you see like he's basically just like this energy. It was pretty cool. I like that stuff. I didn't want to know anything more than that though. And now it's all fucked up because the first female Doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, is not a Time Lord, not a Gallifreyan.
Nope.
The Time Lords were taken from the Doctor, culturally appropriated from the Doctor. It's so fucking dumb. And all of that was to have, it was supposed to be an allegory for a cultural appropriation, for colonization. All that shit was in The Timeless Children. And it's fucking terrible. It's just fucking terrible. I don't know. Russell T Davies has the power, and I think he's got the gonads to undo all this. He's not going to undo the female Doctor. Maybe the Timeless Children, though. I think there's a 1% chance that he does it. I think they'll just kind of forget about it going on, but knowing Moffat and Russell T Davies, they were both big fans of the Time Lords, Gallifrey. I love the idea of the Time War, dude. I fucking thought it was a brilliant idea. I know a lot of the classic fans hate it, but I thought it was really good.
No, I was down with that. Yeah.
And I like how they, saved Gallifrey, and then they did nothing with it. I was so hopeful at the end of the 50th anniversary. I'm like, oh, he's hunting down Gallifrey. That'd be fun. We'll see how that,
who could come back because of this?
Caretaker?
But where's the right? I mean, we know that as a franchise, Doctor Who franchise, having 12 regeneration cycles, 13 bodies, that something's got to happen because you've got to the end of the cycle and they want the franchise to continue. But it still interests you into how they're going to do that. But now that the Doctor we know has unlimited regeneration cycles, and where's the danger anymore? Where's the where's the investment in the span of the Doctor, when the Doctor could just literally look in the mirror and go, oh, I don't like this one.
Yep.
Just shoot themselves in the head and regenerate into something else. It takes away so much from that.
Oh, God, and like it's, I don't understand why RTD's starting with the 60th anniversary special. So is Jodie going to regenerate and then show up in the next fucking episode, or is she not going to be in it? And they need some setup for the new Doctor, unless they're not going to put a new Doctor in the 60th anniversary episode, which I guess is a possibility.
No, they have to. They got to.
First episode, because there's a lot of fixing you got to do. Like, for one, is this an unlimited set of regeneration? Well, yeah, right now she's got an unlimited set of regenerations because it all came from her.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they find a way to limit her regenerations or his. Yeah, I don't fucking know. It's so messed up right now that you're going to have an episode of fixing this. And if you don't, and if you go by and just like, we're going to forget it, that's not going to be good enough for people. And honestly, the normies, which are required for this show, it got too big. So you can't dial it back to be this little British show anymore because it relies so much on licensing. And that's what led them to hiring Russell T Davies, because they are panicked.
Well, the Timeless Children didn't bring people to the franchise.
No,
it brought people to Twitter, and it made people virtue signal and go, "Oh, great, did it?" And that's just a minuscule, minute amount. We've seen from the ratings, we've seen from the physical ratings here in the UK. It's done nothing but just drive people away. And every episode further in, more people leave. The Flux, 6 episodes. 4 of those 6 episodes are the bottom 4 rated episodes in New Who. That says everything that you need to know about this. Yep. Everything. This has not turned new heads. This has not made people go, oh, this is exactly what we needed. We needed a more inclusive and diverse origin of the Doctor when we didn't even need to know the origin of the Doctor. Oh, yes, we needed to vanquish those awful, awful white men of the past. Even though it's Verity Lambert that was absolutely instrumental in bringing Doctor Who to the screen. But even though they did even though BBC did a drama based on her bringing Doctor Who to the screen, they forget their own history so quickly that it seems obvious why they would want to destroy other histories, because it means nothing to them. They don't learn from history. They don't understand that you don't have to destroy the past to build on the future. That's something that you don't have to do. And as I've mentioned, Doctor Who never had an issue with inclusivity. It's always been a very diverse show. There's always been people of well, we're in 2022. There's 2 fucking genders, male and female. Get the fuck over it and move on. It's always had plenty of males and females. It's always had plenty of people from different ethnicities and backgrounds. And this is going all the way through the show, all the way through the show. You could date that back until the 80s at the absolute latest. And so to have what they've done has done nothing. It's done absolutely nothing. You destroyed the franchise. You destroyed it so badly that you had to give it back to the person that brought it back from the dead, and give them creative control away from you because you know that you fucked it. And this is an American. This is one of the world's. Yeah, this is one of the world's biggest imports, and it's not anymore. And the BBC are already fighting a battle with the license fee, with people dropping away from that hand over fist. 200,000, 230,000, 2019, 900,000, nearly 1 million, 2020. 20-something million people, 24 million people are paying their TV license. That's a huge chip away in such a short period of time. And so shows like Doctor Who being sold around the world is money the BBC absolutely needs.
Yes, and they're not getting it. Like their merchandise sales are gone. They've lost deals. So, and I think they were letting some run out because they knew Bad Wolf was coming in and they knew Sony was going to buy them. Sorry, did I say American company? Technically, Japanese company.
Yeah.
I think it's the Americans who will be running the entertainment. The Americans run basically the entertainment side of it. I'm not sure. I mean, this is considered television and streaming, which I'm guessing they're going to license it out because they have it licensed out to HBO Max for, I think, a few more years. So it's going to be, which is going to be interesting, a Sony product. But I think that's how Sony's going to work. And this could be this. If you want a little bit of hope, I don't want to give you too much. The fact that they didn't bring back Dr. Ruth in this episode, when they, by all rights, should have, because they've answered nothing with the Timeless Children. They just solidified it in the flux, but then they didn't like fill in the blanks with all the doctors, and they didn't really fill in the blanks to where Dr. Ruth sits. There's still a lot of speculation, but they haven't, as far as I know, haven't come out and said where she sits in the timeline. There's just a bunch of doctors we don't know about, and that the answer is in the fob watch, which she dropped in the TARDIS, and then they never mentioned this episode. And there's one episode left. So in typical Chibnall fashion, it will probably be mentioned in the last 5 minutes of the last episode or not at all. And if it's not mentioned at all, I think there might be a retcon of this coming. If they just regenerate Jodie and they forget about that fob watch in the TARDIS completely.
Well, I think that's coming back in her regeneration episode.
Yeah, I think it's coming back in the final episode, and I think it might have something to do with her regeneration too. Not that I care that much.
I just want a bitch to fucking go.
Oh my god, the Sea Devils are coming back. It's like fucking who cares? The Sea Devils are coming back with the first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker. Captain Jack came back. Something the fan base had been clamoring for years. They wanted to see Captain Jack with Matt Smith. They wanted to see Captain Jack with Peter Capaldi. And then they came back, and now he's canceled.
Well, they emasculated him anyway when he came back. Yeah, it's the worst companion ever. Absolute, you just chocolate fire guard.
And fucking Dan. Oh
no, we've landed in Manchester, and I'm from Liverpool. Liverpool hate Manchester. Did you see Dan had 2 great lines in this episode?
Which was
the first one was the Doctor saved the universe, and the second line he said later on was the universe died.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah, what, Dan?
Yeah. By the way, that didn't get brought up at all in the episode. The fact that the universe is mostly destroyed. They never fixed it. So I'm wondering if Chibnall thinks people will forget that the solar system's gone. There's no Jupiter and Uranus. There's no Uranus. There's no Pluto.
Shoved up
Pluto's
the
a planet, by the way. Motherfuckers can't take that away from Pluto. They didn't bring it up. They didn't bring it up at all because it was a bottle episode because they don't give a shit. Yeah, it's a joke at this point. So I really don't know if people are. I have a feeling that normies. Well, I know this. They stopped giving a shit. Normies don't know who Russell T Davies is. And whoever this next Doctor is, it has to be a name. I don't think you can't just do your typical, we're going to get a character actor that some people might know in the UK who was a guest, might have been on a sitcom. I mean, Peter Capaldi, arguably for the UK was a pretty big pick, right?
Mm.
So, I mean, not here in the States, but definitely I will acknowledge that was a big pick for you guys. And a lot of you were happy about it. Most of us in the States weren't. We were just kind of, we like the young guys.
Where's my young boy?
Yeah. Where's the hot companion? Oh my God. I was watching here's what I was. Okay. Before the reason it's late. I was looking for a thumbnail because I'd lost my favorite picture, which is the thumbnail. It looks like Jodie's about to go down on somebody. And I had to go get it again. And I ran across all the Doctor's regenerations.
No.
Sat and watched all the regenerations. It killed me, dude. I was like, no, 3rd Doctor, no, 4th Doctor, no. And I love the regeneration from Sylvester McCoy to the 8th Doctor, from the 7th Doctor to the 8th Doctor to Paul.
Very Frankenstein-esque.
Fucking so cool. It is so cool. There were so many good ideas in that thing. And then of course I watched Matt's, David just, and then Matt's after that, which was really good.
I love Matt's regeneration.
Yeah.
The speech is phenomenal.
When fucking Amy shows up, it's like, Yeah.
And it's all in his head.
It's all in his
and
head.
It's great because when it cuts to Clara's perspective and he's just there, like his hand's just there. But to him, it's on Amy's cheek, and she's like looking at him like, what is going on? Because
I stopped at Capaldi's. I just stopped. I stopped watching. I'm like, nope. No.
The weird thing, well, not the weird thing, the very interesting thing is Capaldi's regeneration speech. And I don't know how it kind of slid in there, is essentially saying, don't you dare fuck this up. Now that we're going away from the norm, you're going to be a woman. Don't you dare fuck this show up. Don't you dare fuck the Doctor up. And it's like that's where you get never be cruel, never be cowardly, because as we've seen, the cowardly nature of identitarian politics. And it's all these sort of warnings, and none of them were heeded.
No.
None of them were heeded at all. And we got the cruel and we got the cowardly.
I'll get the super chats in just a second. I want to get the talons of Wang Chang asked. Let me see if I can scroll back up and find that one about the length of Jodie's run as opposed to. There it is. All right. Hey, Gary, Happy New Year, mate. Happy New Year to you. So is Jodie Whittaker going down as the second longest serving Doctor then with 2017 to 2023? Consider 2022. So I would say 5 years. What's your take? She only did 3 seasons and she didn't even do 3 full seasons. So I guess you could say time wise, it's a technicality.
She has the lowest number of episodes.
Yeah. She has, aside from
obviously,
Eccleston, but it was
obviously
it was a massive failure, and it was a massive failure because of the BBC's handling of this, because they couldn't pay for it all the time. So this is where they fucked Capaldi. Capaldi had 2 1-year breaks, 2. And Jodie had a couple of 1-year breaks, or almost 1 year, full 1-year breaks. That doesn't do. I mean, like, Doctor Who should not have 2-year breaks. It's not that highly produced of a fucking show. It's not Game of Thrones. It's Doctor Who. So the BBC's running on like no money because they put the message in front of good storytelling. They would have all the money in the world if they would have stuck with it. I mean, I'm looking, for the Doctor Who toy collectors out there, shit. There's still toys, but it's not like it was 5-10 years ago when there was a bunch of shit. And there's still a market for it. Like, hey, like I was just pointing right here. That is a custom 1/6 scale First Doctor's TARDIS that somebody made. I did a fucking fantastic. It's a little brittle, but it's fantastic. And it lights up and all that good stuff. And it's made out of wood. So it's painted and distressed, and it's just done with just love.
Well, those 4 new big chief doctors.
Yeah.
They're not sold out.
They're not sold out.
You can still pre-order.
The value of certain really expensive Doctor Who things has gone down. As a matter of fact, I have to go to the P.O. box and pick up. I forgot the name of the company, but
limited to 500 worldwide as well.
Wow.
And they're still available to pre-order.
I'm pretty sure you could still get a Jodie Whittaker 1/6 scale, and that was limited to 350 worldwide. Tom Baker can't get it. That was limited to 500 too. But I mean, that's got his signature and everything. You can't, dude. That thing's man. So there's a company that I think would license. I don't know if they're licensed or not, but they do a really good job of making high-end props. And they did an 11th hour sonic.
I watched that yesterday as well.
Yeah, they did a malfunctioning 10th Doctor's screwdriver.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna pick that up on Monday. It looks so tight. Oh, it's so good. Yep. I've got the wand companies, the remote, the TV remote ones that are freaking fantastic. They're a little brittle too. They break easy. They're expensive, and I bought them when they first came out, and they were expensive.
Do you know what they should do with the next Doctor? The next Doctor, they should take away the Sonic for a season.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Sonic, but they need to make it a Sonic. I mean, like fucking, she's scanning,
wiggling it around like a fucking dildo, man.
And then all of a sudden, she can echo their presence somewhere to fool. I mean, like that would have come in handy for the 9th Doctor, the 10th Doctor, the 11th Doctor, the 13th Doctor. I mean, Chibnall's a hack. As soon as I saw like they were losing a minute every time they come back, so they tried to do Groundhog Day, and it was fucking ridiculous. So a woman who works in a storage facility with one customer, which
makes no sense anyway, but
uses it to bring stuff back and catalog stuff from his ex-girlfriend. He has a bunch of food that's expired, a bunch of chemical waste. Why? What? How?
Never explained.
They never explain it, and then they fall in love. And the guy was just doing it to flirt with the girl because he was shy, but he was fucking other girls. And so you're flirting with the girl by bringing ex-girlfriend stuff over to a storage facility. Guys, don't ever do that. Okay, just if you want to learn, there might be some inexperienced or some new people at it, some young people. You know what?
Women don't want to know about other women.
Yeah. This whole like myth that they're all buddies when they walk into a room together. No. Like I have an ex-wife. I don't ever talk about it with my wife. She has an ex-husband. She doesn't ever talk about him. We don't bring them up anymore. And like these people were a huge part of our lives, and they're gone. You want to know why? Because I don't want to hear about it, and she doesn't want to hear about it.
Exactly.
Ever. I don't want to see a picture. I don't want to see anything. Because I am the only person who's ever existed in her life, and she feels the same way.
Amen. That's the way it should be. That's
like,
how we feel. Hey, that's how we feel. That's how we feel. Let's just be honest.
Oh yeah.
I am the only fucking man that you ever need to know during our time together. And that's the way.
That's it. You want to keep the peace. It just doesn't need to be brought. I mean, like occasionally, anecdotally, a story will come up, and I have to like apologize profusely, and she hates it when I say the first wife. So I had to like cure myself of saying that. And the other one. It's called the other one.
Her.
It's
got to be a name that's not endearing.
Yeah. Oh, did I ever tell you? I was on a live stream 3 years ago. And I made a joke, but it's kind of true. The other one wasn't big on me collecting comics and toys, which has been a huge part of my life forever. Like, just wanted me to stop. And I mentioned that, like, you know what? Things like collecting toys and comics are part of me. So if you don't like that, then you don't like part of me. So don't ever give up your shit, the things you love, your hobbies, for somebody, because they love you. They will encourage it. Fuck, it's great for gift ideas. If they discourage it, then they're jealous of it, and that's not good. That's not ever good. So I'm like, yeah, that's why she was my first wife.
Yeah.
And apparently she was watching.
Oh.
And I got a message on Facebook, and it is the first time I had heard from her since the divorce. 10 fucking years. 10 years, maybe more. And I'm sorry. I was like, it was something like, I was sorry that was so terrible to you. And I'm like, oh my God.
I've had that. I just know when I say I've had that, I've had an ex that I split up with, and then she bumped into like some of my work colleagues, and then she said this completely egregious story, which was just not true. And then my work colleague's like, oh, I bumped into your ex. And she said this. I was like, no, it's not how it happened. And then like a few nights later, I got a drunken call from her. And she's like, yeah. And I was just like, okay, we're done. You know, bye-bye.
We're done here.
We've been done for a while. Bye-bye.
This is the benefit of me being broken up. I don't have to argue with you anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to hear this. I'm not interested in this. You go do it in your own time. Goodbye.
You go find somebody else to argue with circularly all the time. Fucking every day. Say, grow up, be responsible.
Whew, happy days.
And I don't do things like flex. I don't say, look at me now. I don't say, look at this room filled with collectibles. And you know what? Mrs. Nerdrotic doesn't give me any shit. She says you got a lot of stuff, but she doesn't give me any shit for this at all.
Yeah.
At all.
She knows. Yeah. She knows this is you.
Yep. Very supportive. And she's like, it's great. It saves me a ton of money. I just don't buy you Christmas presents. I'm like, it's probably for the best. So this episode was, they were caught in a time loop. Okay, so the Flux fucked up the TARDIS. Remember, the TARDIS was bleeding and stuff. So, which could have led to amazing stories, like fucking really good stories. They're like, no, we'll reset it. Never done it before. Are you sure about that? Are you sure you've never reset the TARDIS before?
Pretty sure that happened in the 11th hour.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that happened during Capaldi's run.
Yeah. It's reset before. So while it's resetting, I guess it created a time loop, but the Daleks detected that the TARDIS was resetting or something, and they sent a force to go kill the Doctor because the Sontarans set him up and destroyed a bunch of Daleks. So they blame the Doctor, and they kill the Doctor and this guy over and over again. And this was a premise you could have done so much with, and they did nothing with.
And I thought the concept was interesting and the execution was terrible.
Absolutely. And you compare this to, I know, Mahler. This is like, that's what I love about Mahler. You could tell what Mahler likes by what Doctor Who episode he likes. Midnight. I like Midnight's in my top 7 for sure. But that's like one of his favorite episodes because it's just purely based on character performance. And that's what this should have been. And this exposes the biggest weakness of the show outside of all the messaging and all the other shit is you don't have very talented people writing this show and acting in this show. I would say the best actor was the woman who owned the storage facility. I thought she was pretty good. She's charming. I liked her. The guy mumbled a little bit too much. Couldn't understand what he was saying.
Oh,
too soft-spoken, not projecting enough.
But to defend that guy, right? That guy was kind of like, he was like soft-spoken.
Yeah.
And like, kind of like chill and relax and all this. And yet, when he had his advertisement picture, he was like,
yeah,
like a fucking, I'm going to say it, like a black and white minstrel. They had him doing that big, wide, fucking sorcery-eyed. And it was nothing, his character was nothing like that.
No, it was really soft-spoken. You're right. It was soft-spoken. And you could tell they didn't have any budget. And this is where you're a professional writer. If you're a writer, this is the kind of episode you love. You hear
Midnight was a no-budget episode
all the time. They're like, oh, I've got explosions and stuff. I want to just do some fun character work. Well, here was get in front of your little typewriter or whatever you write on now and just put down some of the best dialogue you can think of. And yeah, Chibnall can't, dialogue is his weakest, one of his weakest points. I don't know how
he cannot write dialogue. Chibnall cannot write dialogue for shit.
No.
I was watching the 11th hour yesterday and Deep Breath and End of Time Part 1 and 2 and stuff like that, where the dialogue in the 11th hour is insanely good.
So good.
And it even even right up to the point where Matt Smith fucking just goes, did it, save the world, capture the world, 2 minutes to spare. Who the man? And he's just like, oh, that's cringe. And then everyone else just looks at him like it's cringe, and he's like, oh, I'm never saying that again.
Yeah,
and it's just like perfect because you've even done the kind of like shitty dialogue thing, but then you've immediately turned it on its head and gone like, no, that's not how you do dialogue. And oh my god, yeah, that was so good because the script of that episode is so fucking tight.
it is so tight.
Oh,
I have a clipper board from that episode.
woo!
I'll have to break it out in my new studio. I went on eBay and bought the clipper board. Did you know that you can go and watch it in Doctor Who Confidential?
Oh,
It's
nice.
season 1, episode 1 on the clipper.
Oh, because it's Moffat's episode 1, season 1.
Moffat episode 1. Yeah.
Because it's new showrunner time. Moffat's episode 1.
Season 1, episode 1.
Perfect.
Very interesting. Let's read a couple super chats and then but that's the episode. What they do is the Daleks kill the Dr. Yazdan. I can't remember the two characters' name. And each time they come back, they have a minute left. They lose a minute. Pretty interesting concept, but typical Chibnall. Arbitrary countdown clock, rushed resolution. There was no real chemistry between those two. Like they're supposed to have kind of have a crush on each other, and it looks like he had a crush on her, and she couldn't give a fuck. I thought she was funny, but
there was no chemistry between. Suddenly, she just was just like, "Oh, he's very, very weird, but he's nice." And he's like, "No, if a woman thinks you're weird, you're out.
You're out." Yeah,
that's not endearing to her. She's like, "No."
Ripped off the novel Replay. Have not read Replay. Is that Target or let me see. I bought a shitload of Target Doctor Who books because I haven't read them all. So I'm gonna, and they're great. They're perfect length. You can read them in a couple hours. Let's see.
Oh man. Oh, I did something I shouldn't have with
Is it just a book called Replay, or is it a Doctor Who book called Replay? I mean, because they ripped off, they meant to do Groundhog Day kind of stuff. So
well, Dan even said Groundhog Day.
Yep.
Because they said we're in and then the two ladies, because men are stupid. The two ladies went, we're in a time loop, and Dan went Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Because Dan is like Fico, and he can't think beyond TV and stuff because he's stupid.
And stop bringing in the Daleks and making them fucking dumb. They are behind their belongings. Daleks do not go to the manager. Actually, they do. Here, I'm done with it. Like, dude, make them creep. You can make them creepy if you're talented.
Dude, there is so much you can do with Daleks that they've never even.
Dude, what they did in Asylum of the Daleks, they cut beautiful Clara, Oswald, yeah. They sliced her up into little pieces and made her a Dalek. It's gruesome. It's fucking horrifying. And she was so traumatized that she was able to beat it, right? And plus, she was the impossible girl. But yeah, they cut her, that beautiful woman, into a little fleshy octopus. It's great. It's horrifying. And then there's the sleepers. It's just planted in their head. The hairdresser working on Amy, she just dies. Stock comes out of her head. Fucking loved it. That was the most interesting thing somebody has done with the Daleks in a long fucking time, and that was after the M&M Daleks. Okay.
He tried to bring the Cushing Doctor, the Cushing Daleks back, didn't he?
Yeah, it just didn't work.
No, but they vanished very quickly.
They were.
In fairness to Moffat, he got, when he got the reaction, he was like, "Okay, we can dump them." He didn't go, "How dare they reject my new Daleks? How dare they? They're gonna learn to love them whether or not." No, he was like, "Okay, phasing them out real quick." You can't knock him for that. Can't knock him for that.
No.
Somebody who understands their audience.
Skittles Daleks. Same. Yep. Let's see what we got.
I ain't gonna lie. I like the aesthetic of them personally, but
I bought all of them. I like the orange one. They're over there somewhere. I've got.
Yeah, I had them. I don't know if I sold them. I might have sold them when I first started YouTube and I was raising funds to keep YouTubing.
Yeah,
I sold a lot of my geek stuff then.
I did too. I went on a vacation. It was right when after I sold the store. It had been about a year. I was working at Parts, and I'm like, my God, my family needs a vacation. You could just tell. You could tell I need to go somewhere. So I took a bunch of hot toys, a couple of pieces of original art, sold them on eBay, and said, "Guys, we got money for a vacation. Let's go on a road trip." Yep. Totally worth it. It was
my fat
awesome.
Thor arrived yesterday.
Oh God, I can't. I would burn that thing. Oh, I just watched.
I don't know why. I don't even know why I bought it.
I know. I watched Endgame. There's parts of Endgame I love, but they're like the little small emotional parts, like when Ant-Man comes back and he sees his daughter.
Oh, that's good.
That's fucking good.
You're grown up.
Yep. But then there's like some real shit in it too.
I like this.
Yep. So this episode, I would say it's kind of like Flux. Like, it's not the worst Chibnall has done. It's probably the absolute best he can do, and it's subpar at best. It's garbage. You'll forget about this. There'll be people out there go, "This might be a good episode," and they will never bring it up again. Like,
I'll tell you what, if that Irish woman wasn't in this show, this episode would have been absolutely horrendous. Because Jodie's got nothing about her. Danny's written like a retard. He's literally written like a retard. Yaz is a horrible, disgusting human being who shouts at everyone for no reason because she's a bossy bitch, and is insanely overprotective of anyone speaking or being nice to the doctor because she wants to rub a vagina.
Yep, she wants to rub the little bumping clams, as the as some people like to say. Remember that speech at the end, the rally speech, where like, this is what we do. We make mistakes and we get better and we improve and then we win, unless you're writing Doctor Who, and then you make the same mistakes over again and you continue to fail and fail and fail and not change and not listen to anybody. It was the diametric opposite of what this show was. That's why I was like, I threw my bowler hat at the screen when she said that. I'm like, yeah, except for you, Chibnall. The majority of the fandom was telling you this sucks. You need to change it. And Piers Vanger's like, editorially, the show's in great shape.
Well, what does that mean, though? Editorially, it's in great shape.
Piers Vanger needs to be fired. That dude needs to be fucking fired. You fuck up the Golden Goose like this, you need to be fired. Yeah. The BBC is, I mean, I don't know how it survives. It'll probably have to attach itself to something else at some point.
BBC needs to do what everyone else does. You want to survive, you got to self-generate money and kill the TV license, get some fucking advertisers, bitch.
Get some ads. It's time. Yeah.
Or go streaming, or go BBC become a streaming service.
That's why YouTube has a huge leg up on everybody, because people are used to ads on YouTube. And you're going to see, like, Disney's going to eventually have a commercial option. You know what's going to eventually happen? you're not going to have the option. They're going to start putting commercials in it, just like they do in movie
Yes.
theaters.
Yeah.
Eventually,
And we're going to pay for the privilege.
Yep. So you're going to fire up a Disney Plus series and you're going to have to sit through 7 commercials before it starts.
Yes.
They won't interrupt it. I don't think they'll interrupt a show, but they will fucking pad beginning and end with commercials.
Mm.
And I predict that happens in the next 2 or 3 years.
I'm right. Do you know something? I'm watching something on Netflix at the moment. I started watching The Silent Sea, which is another Korean show, and the concept of it is so interesting. And it's basically, what if we took Waters of Mars and really could have like amped up the spookiness and the atmosphere, and it's been really good so far.
That's awesome. We'll check that out.
I watched the first episode of Arcane as well, folks, for everyone that's been harassing me.
I did too.
And I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was good. I can't say I'm like, people were really hyping this up. So I wasn't like, I'm going to watch the second episode, but I'm not feeling like, oh, I need to watch it right now. Yeah.
Oh, no. But it was like, I watched it. I mean, I wish that fucking pink haircut didn't exist. But other than the shaved side head, I thought the animation was incredible. I loved the animation. I thought the acting was excellent. I thought the character development was really, really good. And it was interesting. So, yeah, so far after 1 episode, good. And I'm 4 episodes into The Silent Sea with 4 episodes to go.
SJ Almighty for $13.53 on the Streamlab donation side, circumventing YouTube. I really appreciate that. Happy New Year to everybody. Really can't wait for this era of Doctor Who to be over. Really hope RTD turns it around. I really shouldn't watch it anymore, but curiosity gets the better of me every time. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who. Well, thankfully, I mean, like, you're not paying for a license. I ain't paying for a license. I watched it for free. Well, I mean, I used my VPN. I don't advertise or anything. Surfshark is what I use. They seem okay. Thank you very much. Darth Gorbag for 1818 says, if the Doctor has infinite lives, then what's with the energy the Time Lord sent out of the crack to let 11 regenerate in Time of the Doctor for endless reasons? Jodie era is not canon. It's not to me. No.
It's begins with R.
Tarded.
Well, it's definitely that. Retcon. It's all retconning. That's all Jodie is. It's retconning. The Doctor's not a little black baby that fell through the portal. The Doctor is a Time Lord from Gallifrey who looked into the time vortex and fucking ran.
Yep.
That's who they are. Sorry, go on. My bad.
Oh, it's okay. Manowar 665, the neighbor of the beast, says the fact that you two consistently belly up to the caca buffet that is objectively awful comics TV movie. It says W/A with a side of twatter should sincerely be considered acts of love from you both to us all. Either that or you two degenerates have legit shiza fetish, have a legit shiza fetish. I don't have a shiza fetish. No. I mean, I like I'm not like a B movie guy. Like I don't sometimes they're fun, but I like what I like.
I never watch shitty shit. It's my audience that have done this to me. Like when I started taking a piss out of Batwoman, my audience just like, hey, please, come on, you gotta review this for us. So I decided doing the Batwoman reviews, and then because I did that, they made me go and watch Doctor Who, see Jodie's second season, because I gave up after the first 2 episodes of her first season. Haven't watched those episodes, never will watch those episodes. Don't give a shit. But so I've been like drawn into this, and because I did these bloody reviews on how shit this is. My audience are now demanding. I give them more. And I will, because I love you.
And that's why I do this. Plus, I'm chronicling the demise. I promised I'd do it. I'm going to continue to do it. And we only got one more episode to go.
Monetize them.
Yep. Rock in Alice for $5 says, Hail Gary and Az, didn't the Doctor grow up as a childhood friends with the Master and the Ronnie? I hope the Doctor I hold out hope that Doctor Who may be saved someday. It's a possibility. Of course it's a possibility. And if that happened, that would be a giant shift. And that's when the change that we've been hoping would happen may happen. But remember the last time a lot of people thought stuff was changing, and I made a video when Luke came back and I said, this is an opportunity. Here we are. There is an opportunity right now to win fans back, and we'll see what Disney does next. And then we saw what they did next. They have no interest. We are at an opportunity right now with Marvel, with superhero storytelling. Sony just dropped a bomb on everything. They bought back 3 Spider-Mans. They gave the fans what they want. And during a quote unquote pandemic, the movie's breaking like real records that not just any movie can break, even in the best of times. That is a message. They have an opportunity to emulate that now. And what's the news we get today? Grace Randolph mentions that Michael Keaton's just coming in to choose Batgirl as his replacement. Henry Cavill will not be Superman. There will be a new Justice League with a Supergirl and Batgirl that nobody wants. Absolutely fucking nobody wants except a few psychos on Twitter. It will fail. It's dead on arrival. And if you put, I don't know, Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, Henry Cavill in a fucking movie together, you would have your technically second, but you would have $1 billion Justice League movie.
Yeah, do you know the most egregious thing about that tweet was Grace Randolph at the end goes, hey, let's give this a chance, people. Go fuck off, Grace.
Stop it.
Just fuck off, you stupid cow. It's people like you that are part of this fucking problem.
Yep.
And part of the reason why we're getting this fucking bullshit. Because you're such a fucking shill. And you've got your fucking head and your hand and all manner of other appendages right up their fucking asses. So you can get a little bit of an invite for this, or a little bit of a tip from somebody within the company for that. So you can get a video out purely for your benefit. For your fucking benefit. Fuck off, Keaton, passing on to Batgirl. No one gives a fuck about race-changed, tokenized Batgirl. No one. No one gives a fucking shit about non-makeuped, miserable twat-looking Supergirl. No one. They're not going to be Batman, and they're not going to be Superman. They will never, ever replace Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. And you can push as much ideology as you want. You can push it to the moon and back, and then have a word with Elon Musk and fuck off to Mars and come back from there. And still nobody will ever give a shit about Bat fucking Girl and Supergirl being the new world's finest. Never.
Just like no one gives a shit about the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, who we will lovingly call Dr. Karen. And I mean, no one gives a shit.
No one.
She's a derivative character. She's not a real doctor, and nobody will ever accept it. If a few people out there do, you are in the minority. Most of the fan base has left. And yeah, good luck with fucking Supergirl. I strongly encourage it. The thing will fail miserably. And you know what? DC, if they put fucking Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck right now, they would have a tough time. They would have to put a Michael Keaton in. They'd have to do a little extra. You know what they'd have to do? They'd have to hire a very talented director and writer and commit. People might come to that.
I think
they burn bridges, man.
Cavill.
Well, not Cavill. No, WB.
No, I'm just talking Cavill, Affleck, world's finest.
Period. Yep.
That's what they want. They want fucking team up together, hope, camaraderie. That's you put that out. World's finest. Batman, Superman, Henry Cavill, Batfleck.
Your Flash movie has Batman in it, and that's what people are going to watch it for. They're not going to watch it for the Flash.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah,
they're really dumb. So here's the deal: they always read the tea leaves wrong. And I'm telling you, this is the mindset of WB. They aren't casting Henry Cavill or Ben Affleck because they think they failed because people are tired of white male characters.
No, that's a bullshit excuse.
But
that is gaslighting.
I know it's a bullshit excuse. No, but that's what they actually believe.
I know.
That's what I mean, it's not just we're going to try to force this on you. We believe this. They just need to fail, and it can't be just once. It's got to be a lot, and it's got to be big because you're fighting true belief, not just facts.
But they're not doing black characters any justice. They're not doing female characters any justice because they are taking what could be good characters, well-written characters in good stories. Look how much people like Blade back in the fucking 90s, for Christ's sake, and stuff like that. And they are putting their ideology once again behind it all, and that is the turn-off. People aren't turned off by black characters. People aren't turned off by characters of different colors. They're not turned off by female characters. They're turned off by the ideological slant that you place on them. That's the turn-off. Nobody wants... I don't want to go and watch a TV show, and I don't want to go and watch a movie where I'm being told that I'm a piece of shit, my time's up. What do you mean my fucking time's up? How many fucking plantations did I have? How many fucking times did I sail to Africa and drag some fucking slaves onto a boat and fucking ship them off to the new world? Just, it's crazy. They're treating people in modern day like fucking 400 to 600 years ago. This is the idiocy of it, the absolute idiocy of it. And you know, you go out into the real world. I went out, you know, we've been out in the real world over the Christmas holidays. I've taken a couple of weeks holiday. I'm coming back soon, but I've taken a couple of weeks holiday because I wanted to rest and relax and recharge and all this kind of stuff. And everywhere I went out in the real world, people were people. Yeah, people were people. All different fucking colors, both genders, the male and the female, because that's the only two genders that there are. And they were just normal fucking people because that's who's out there. But it's not normal people that are creating this entertainment. It's crazy ideologues that make this sort of entertainment. And you're putting, and I think the theory is they're just pissing off. They're pissing off the right people. No, you are pissing off more than you know. You're pissing off women. You're pissing off people of all different colors, religions, races, sexualities, etc. You're pissing them all off in an effort to do this. But hey, you might get a few people on Twitter going, and Twitter ain't real life. Twitter is fake. Twitter is phony. And if that's where you go to get your validation, no wonder everything's broken. So yeah, bring on Supergirl, bring on Batgirl, and watch as they fucking crumble to dust. And then you go,
how did that happen? Well, Doctor Who just proved it. I mean, like, it was a massive failure. It didn't spike once. It didn't recover once. It was a constant downward spiral. So it's the thing we can point back to. You give the fans what they want, you make a few $1 billion. Star Trek, it's pure apathy now. Nobody fucking talks about Star Trek. Okay, great. You got 4 seasons of garbage, and now you can't bring it back. Now you just
are talking about Star Trek. It's pointing and laughing at Discovery.
Exactly. But you can't bring it back now. Strange New Worlds will come out, be the same shit. And in 10 years, when you try to reboot Star Trek, nobody's going to give a fuck. And Doctor Who is at the same place. And at least they recognized, again, hiring Russell T Davies could be a good sign. we'll find out very, very soon. I imagine we'll find out who the new Doctor is in the next, by June at the latest, I think. At the latest.
Mm.
And that's when we'll know if we even need to continue on with this. But it's I mean, we were right from the beginning because we're fans and we know the stuff we love, and we've seen this stuff fail before in comics when they've tried it in comics. I mean, what the movies are doing right now, they've tried and failed many times in comic books. How many times have they tried to reform the Justice League? And they tried to do it without Batman and Superman. And it went on for a little while, and then it fucking failed miserably. And they had to bring back Batman and Superman, or one or the other. I mean, it's just, how many times have they tried to replace fucking Superman? How many times have they tried to replace Batman or any other character? And they can't, because DC Comics runs on basically 3 or 4 characters. Marvel Comics
it runs on one right now.
yeah. Marvel Comics runs on a couple of characters. That's it. Without without Spider-Man, there is no Marvel Comics. Without Batman, there's no DC Comics. Period. And that Batman is Bruce Wayne. And that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. And the Doctor is a man. There's certain just facts, fixed points in time. Creativity. There you go. Okay. So give props to Bargain Basement Killmonger.
Fuck off,
Kelly Johnson.
Hey, weren't they a great couple? Didn't they bring so much to Flux?
Yeah, I completely forgot about them right after that was over.
I still don't even know their names.
How long ago did Flux end?
A
few weeks.
4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago, right?
Maybe.
It just like
maybe less.
It is a fart in the wind.
Hold on. Here we go. 6th of December, so 3 weeks ago, basically 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it feels like longer. The Hobbs 9 for $2 asked Gary Naz, could you reach out to Russell T. Davies for an interview? I would love to interview Russell T. Davies. He would never talk to me.
No.
Or you.
Or me. No.
Yep.
We're wrong thinkers.
Yep. But I would love to have a good sit down, heartfelt, and I'm sure he'd plead a very good case for the female doctor and the identity politics. And I would plead a very good case that why we shouldn't have either of those. And it's okay. It's okay not to have either of those. It doesn't make you a Yahtzee. It makes you, I just want to be a fan, you know? And maybe he agrees with some of that. I don't know. But that would never happen. I'm not big on interview. I don't want to interview celebs and stuff, but like I would love to talk to him. Love it. And
yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Sonic is overused. Follow Five's lead and don't use it at all. Yep. JW26577 for $5. I think that's what I would imagine that's one of the first things RTD does is has it malfunctions. I mean, it sells a lot of toys. It's popular. I like it, but yeah, they need to put it down for a little while and then bring it back as something that opens doors. That's
yeah.
Fizzenthorpe for $20. Thank you. Says Happy New Year, Gary and Az. Hoping your 2022 is filled with black transgender elves.
Thank you.
Well,
me too. Hashtag me too.
We've got House of the Dragon. Coming in.
Good luck with that.
Months with Black Valerians, and oh my god, one fucking Song of Ice and Fire lore guy was just freaking out like, oh my god, there's so many racists out there. I was like, well, for one, like I don't really give a shit. There's like a million. You could have race swapped any character in fucking A Song of Ice and Fire and it wouldn't have made a difference. But this one like is where they've talked about, like George has come out and said they're fair of skin. They have Valerians are white. They have purple eyes and blonde hair. So what do? They give the black guy blonde hair. Okay. Why? I just, it makes no sense. And plus there's a paternity issue with it, which just fucks with the story. It doesn't really matter that much. I was like, whatever. But then we have Lord of the Rings this fall, this year. Lord of the Rings comes out this year. We've seen one picture, no trailers, nothing. There's a bunch of footage shot already. Heard they're reshooting the shit out of it, and this thing has spiraled. The costs have spiraled out of control. So it is now a $1 billion show. The Sonic, I read that one. Thank you for the Diamond Super Sticker, SJ Almighty, for $1.49 each. I appreciate it. Lord Foddelwad says, "Hail, Airy and Gaz. Down with the prolapse they call modern Doctor Who with this Karen woman. Happy New Year." And Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Hang on. It's cutting some of these off there. Happy New Year, connoisseurs of culture. Okay. Mr. Butt Crack Media for $1.49 as give me a hot dog.
Hot dog.
Beyond the Fan for £5 British pounds. That's proper money. Says Smith was given a new regeneration cycle in his last episode, The Time of the Doctor, by the Time Lords, not ignored and pointless by this now ignored and pointless by this miss. Yes. And it was such a great, like, I didn't love Time of the Doctor, The Town Called Christmas. I thought a lot of that shit was lame. But Clara pleading with the Time Lords being behind the crack was fucking awesome. I thought that was a great reveal. And his little, his speech at the end, I thought was really good. Never tell me the rules. And the music is really good. Good Murray Gold.
Moffat took a little bit from Blade Runner for his regeneration speech.
Yep.
So the tears in the rain, breath on a mirror.
Yep. I hate what Doctor Who has become. Even my mom, who hates sci-fi, loved David Tennant. The first episode of the female Doctor who turned me away. Here's to hoping RTD can salvage. Well, I mean, there's a basic answer out there. Thank you, Giggles61155 for $10. There's a really easy answer to get a lot of attention. You want to get a lot of attention? You want to energize people? You just bring David Tennant back. Period. You get a new Doctor later, bring him back for a year, bring back Christopher Eccleston. I think he would now come back for a long period of time. Bring back Paul McGann. But if you want to energize the American base, there's only one answer for that, and it's David Tennant. You want to get the crowd.
What?
Yeah.
What?
You want to make headlines around the world. You want to be they'll talk about it on Fox News, CNN, all the fucking mainstream garbage media outlets. It'll be the biggest news of the day. It'll be the number one thing on Twitter for the entire day with like tens of thousands of tweets. It will be massive news. That's what you do. I don't think they will, but I think David would come back if you just say, hey, it's only a limited time. You're not committing yourself to 5 seasons. And by the way, RTD is not committed to 5 seasons. He says they're committed to a season with possibility of more. So,
to me, that basically just says though that because Doctor Who is in such a terrible state, the BBC are literally just seeing if RTD can revive it, can bring it round from the dead. And if he can't, if RTD's first season is just like and just does exactly what the BBC season does, then you might as well just bring it back to the BBC.
I'm going to go back to Spider-Man a lot. Spider-Man made $1 billion because of Toby. Because of Toby. Tom Holland had something to do with it. and Andrew Garfield had something to do with it. But what initiated that many people to show up on the first weekend that put it in the stratosphere was Tobey Maguire. I still think the film would have done well if it was a Tom Holland film. No disrespect to Tom Holland, but what put that thing through the roof was Tobey Maguire.
I think it was Toby, Andrew, Doc Ock, Green Goblin. I think
if you don't have Toby in that movie and you have everybody else, it does well, but not that well. Okay. So Toby's the one that puts everything over the top.
Spider-Man 2 is a really beloved film.
Put it this way, you bring Rose back, you bring Jack, Rose, Martha, Donna, and people are going to be interested. But if you don't bring back David Tennant, you bring back David Tennant, stratosphere.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's all those people matter. I'm not saying the other characters don't matter. The Alfred Molinas and Willem Dafoe's, they certainly do, and they play a part in the percentage of how well it's done. But again, Toby is what puts the thing over the moon. And now why are you not having that conversation? If you are Sony, they're like, oh, we just did this with Spider-Man and we made a lot of money. So you might, can we get David back? How much would it cost? Get him back for a year. Just set this thing right so we can make tons of toys and fucking TARDIS play sets and bed sheets and fucking
mugs and cups and bowls and dishes and
lamps and shit.
Lamps and tramps and amps and gamps.
Fucking refrigerators. It's like, oh, I gotta show you this. I'm
gonna buy a new fridge. I might just get a TARDIS.
We had a vintage fridge, a fucking awesome 50s vintage fridge. We couldn't take it too heavy. But no, the TARDIS fridge, go get one. Geek, I forgot who made it. Not Geekosity. I think it was Geekosity made it a few years ago. It works great. It's like a little soda fridge. It makes little sounds and stuff. But yeah, this is my shit like this. And you know who brings him back? David fucking Tennant. Just for a year.
You don't think he's no, it's all good.
I don't think he's gonna, but if you want Doctor Who to come back and be big in America and have a possibility of being as big as it was and just to make a splash, that's what you do. There is no other person on the planet that can make a splash equal to bringing David back.
The new Doctor's Henry Cavill just announced.
Yeah. Except for that. But let's be real, that's not
I'm the Doctor.
This is a custom. I gotta get rid of this logo. Brannigan.
Oh, okay. Gridlock. Heck of an episode.
Yeah. I've got to have.
I think Gridlock is one of my least favorite.
Yeah, it's not great, but dude, I don't have a fucking they don't make a Brannigan. The fact that somebody went out and made a Brannigan is so fucking weird. I had to get it. I'm like, why would you make a Brannigan? Like, of all the things, but it may be because it's easy because you got a cat person or whatever. But
it looks good.
Yeah, it looks great. So I hope I made my case that if that's what you do, everything else is just going to be get some people back. It might excite some people. If you get that guy from the IT crowd, right? What's his name?
Richard Adewale.
Aodi or whatever is like Richard, that's a lot. That's not his name, but a lot of people are like down with that. I'm down with it. I'm fine with that. That would excite some people. But they need to do more than just excite some people. They can't just do another like what they've done in the past. They need to swing for the fences, as we say here in the States.
Oh my God. Just imagine. I know it's not going to happen, but just imagine if she regenerated into Doctor Who.
Oh yeah. What if it's what's her fuck who plays Valkyrie or something? Like, yeah, it's
Tessa Thompson.
Tilda Swinton. Like it's like Tilda Swinton will excite Vox and Vice and Twitter. David Tennant will excite your mom who watched one Doctor Who episode. It will get everybody to watch. It will get absolutely everybody to watch. But they won't do it.
We all know. Yeah, we all know it's not going to happen, though.
They're not going to do it.
Oh, man.
But just I want you to remind y'all out there that there's people who make millions of dollars who are in the position to make that decision, and they won't. We just saw it with people are considered experts, are putting Batgirl and Supergirl in a Justice League movie over Henry Cavill and Affleck. When you and I and anybody in the chat, you take us out to a lunch, we'll fucking tell you what to do with your movie, and we'll probably make you $1 billion if you listen to us. We're not telling you how to write the story. Just this is how you cast it.
But
This
we're
is what
part of the
fans
problem.
like. Yep.
We are straight white males who are part of the patriarchy, and we're also slave owners.
Yeah.
And we're colonialists, and we are white privilege. We have our white privilege.
Was it Nick Cannon who said we don't have souls? We also don't have souls.
Yes, yeah. That's just
It's
ginger.
just gingers, by the way. Everybody knows that.
And toxic masculinity. Don't forget that.
Well, that might be true. But are you my mummy? Freaking
Are
terrified.
you my mummy?
R.I.P. Doctor Who. Late art for 129 Czechoslovakian pesos. That's probably my single favorite action figure.
That was
is the
creepy
little
as fuck.
boy with the fucking gas mask on, and the Doctor too with the gas mask on, which are right back there.
Are you my mummy?
Such a good episode.
Just once, just for once, everybody lives.
Yes. Oh, it's such a good ending. The Constant Doctor.
But it was a very clever story about why they ended up the way that they ended up. When a future healing technology messes with blown up people from World War II, you know?
Yeah, it was just an accident. There was no real bad guy. It was the nanotechnology was doing the best they could. They tried to fix the little boy, and they just thought that's how you fix them.
That was the template of a human, because had a gas mask on when it got blown up.
That is a genius story. And Captain Jack feels bad, right? Like he went there and it was supposed to be a trick to sell the I forgot the name of the ship now. Because they bring the ship back. What episode? Oh, what's the name of that? It's a battleship, something. What episode did they bring the ship back in, chat? I'm forgetting the name of the species that he stole it from. But they brought it back in a Matt Smith episode. Just tell you that. Not a very good one, by the way. It should have been good, but it wasn't. Where was I? Happy New Year to Gary as in
Chula Warship.
Chula Warship. Thank you. And what episode did the Chula Warship make a return in? And I thought that they mentioned it at the time. I'm like, oh, they're bringing Captain Jack back. Oh, this is a way to bring Captain Jack back. No, they just brought it. Moffat was famous for the red herring, by the way. It was a little frustrating. I'll give you a hint, chat. It was in series 7. Series 7, there's a Chula warship. I'll give you another hint. Oh, this would be too big of a hint. I'm waiting for the chat.
Species 8472.
Alder Frey.
Yeah, it's dinosaurs on a spaceship.
There you go. Because they made a toy of it. That's the only reason I remember it. They made it. They made a miniature toy of it. And it's a cool ship design. It's like a really cool ship design.
And who wrote Dinosaurs on a Spaceship?
Oh, I can't even remember now. Was it fucking
Oh,
Chibnall?
come on. Yeah, Chris Chibnall.
Yeah, it was Chibnall. Well, Chibnall wrote a bunch of Torchwood. So
yes.
But Torchwood was a hit and miss show, dude.
Yeah,
it was like
big time.
Fucking, it'd be a really good show, and then like there'd be Cyber Woman. I mean, she was hot. It's my favorite action figure because it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, but she was hot. It's like I really
Torchwood, I always thought was a shark jumper. I never liked the series, but I really loved Children of Earth. That was incredible. Because that was just some good sci-fi.
Dude, that was great. No, Children of Earth, like that's the one great thing about it. Like the first season has like 3 or 4 good episodes, and the second season has a couple good episodes. But it's like it's over dramatic. I guess that's the best way I could put it.
Yeah.
Like mood swings. Like the characters go through these crazy moods.
Trying to be so serious.
So serious. And they get like I just laugh at times. Like they just turn on a fucking dime. And it wasn't a great use
serious Doctor Who.
Yep.
Okay.
But I watched the episodes that lead into Doctor Who episodes. Like they have him running away. Like he picks up the doctor hand and runs away to go to Utopia.
Yeah.
And
then it's a completely different Jack. Because now it's back to Doctor Who Jack, not Torchwood Jack.
Well, yeah, what was the one that was the Showtime special? Because they've worked with an American company before. Miracle Day. Yeah. It sucks how that turned out, but like at the end they didn't resolve any of that. And remember that like Jack is missing large portions of his life because of the time agency. Like they stole years from his life and he wants to get it back, and they never really fucking did anything about that.
Oh wait, that sounds like The Timeless Children and The Division.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Doesn't it just? Oopsie doopsies. Oh my God. Yeah. This is such a great point. When you take such a great episode like Vincent and the Doctor, and where did it go? I just saw it. I
still, man, that episode hits me every time. That ending is just, Oh
yeah, here he goes. Can you imagine Jodie and Vincent the Doctor? No. Shut up and stop crying, Vincent. Your paintings are a bit naff. Have an upgrade and get over it. Exactly.
And then Yaz would turn around and go, yeah.
I want to go down on you. Insanity methods for $5. Yaz will help trigger Jodie's regeneration by kissing her on the lips when it looks like she's going to die from being injured. Change my mind.
I think you're right. I think there's going to be a snog.
The Talons of Wang Chang. You are 100% correct in my opinion. $4.49. Trinoculus P for $10. Welcome back. How are you? I searched YouTube to see if the Jodie Doctor was good and found Nerdrotic. So sad UK families won't be watching the Christmas specials as a part of their tradition. Yeah, I mean, it's good and bad. I'm sure a lot of you went back and did what I did and watched Christmas specials from the past. And even the ones that we thought were subpar. How much more do we appreciate those quote unquote subpar episodes from like the Matt Smith era, which are now like fucking just magic?
Like, yeah, they're like great compared to this nonsense.
The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe is a good fucking episode. It's mushy. Moffat is a romantic. He's mushy. Russell T Davies loves action. Like he's like into the action. He likes consequences. He loves the good old tragic death.
Yeah.
He loves it when the Doctor gets righteous. You know, Tenet was.
We all love it when the Doctor gets righteous. Yeah. The Lonely God.
Well, this is where Doctor Who has something in common with Spider-Man. You always know and Superman somewhat, but like Spider-Man talks about it a lot more. But you always know that they're more powerful. Like they're holding back immensely because they don't want to hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's number one, is they don't want to hurt anybody. And they have a certain empathy even for their villains. Like the Doctor is old enough to know that people aren't just evil. So even when this evil person does the most evil thing, the Doctor knows in the back of his mind there's a reason for it. Peter has the ultimate empathy because he let a bad guy go and he saw what it cost him. It cost him his uncle. And then when he went down and searched down the burglar, in Amazing Spider-Man 200, great read, by the way. You know, it doesn't turn out to be the satisfying experience. It is something that even Toby talks about in Spider-Man. There's an empathy there, like that. People aren't born evil for the most part. I think in some cases there are, but like I knew a kid when I grew up. He bullied me when I was younger, but he was just fucking bad from the get-go. And I knew him from the time he was like, we were in the fucking sandbox together at preschool, and he was nasty then. He was just nasty. And his parents were pretty nice. So, I think you can't, once in a while, people can be born bad, but I think a lot of times it's just made. Can you imagine, Jody? I read that one. This is how much they care about Doctor Who. This is how much I didn't care about Doctor Who now. I completely forgot it was on until your stream popped up. Hail, you guys, and Happy New Year. Says randomized for 449.
Kind of the same. I was just watching some YouTube, and then I just flicked to check Twitter, and somebody on my timeline was saying, oh, and then this happened in the episode, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot it was the New Year's.
Maybe I missed it, but I was like going up my timeline because like last night there was Doctor Who shit all over my fucking timeline because I think people I were following were retweeting Doctor Who, right? But then, usually I'll pop up if there's a Doctor Who episode, like there's Noel or you or Problem Being or fucking Dan or somebody talking about Doctor Who. And I didn't see anything this morning. I'm like, where the fuck is it? And it wasn't even trending until later, and with 13,000 tweets, which isn't impressive, by the way. It's not very impressive. I think the ratings for this are going to be horrific. I'm going to say all-time low holiday special.
I'm going to say 6.5 mil.
Consolidated?
Yeah.
No. 4 mil overnight, 4 something mil overnight, maybe 5 consolidated. Reminder, Voyage of the Damned watched by 13.31 million people in a country with at the time 60 million people. That was over 15% of your population was watching Doctor Who.
That's because it was a fun family show that the family could sit down and watch, Gary.
It's fucking insane. I mean, that's like top tier sports ratings for us. If you're for like getting 15% of our country to watch it, just so you know, there's a lot of poor people in America, just like there is everywhere else, and not everybody in this country has cable. Not everybody has internet. I think it's like half, a little over half. And that's just incredible that a sci-fi TV show. I mean, that's like Japan and the UK, percentage wise, you're just a kind of a country of nerds. A lot of nerds. I mean, there's a lot of sports ball guys in Europe, but like we're like nerds are still a minority here in America. Okay. There's still way more people.
We have institutions, Gary.
Yes.
Doctor Who's a British institution.
We're 200 years old.
Yeah.
Our balls just dropped as a country.
Yeah. We've gone through castles and knights in shining armor and
Your
Roman
history,
roads and
your history goes so far back you don't even know it all.
yeah. Whether there are the Dark Ages, we have no fucking idea.
Like you don't really know who the first king was.
No,
King Arthur could have been real. He could have been based on somebody. There's a lot of thought about that. I don't think there was Excalibur or Merlin, although that would be really cool if that was real. Yeah, because the Romans and the Saxons fucked up your fucking history.
and Scandinavians coming over and the Scottish coming down. And it's all over the place. We had shit happening all over the place.
And then, like 12,000 years ago, most of your country was under about a mile of ice. So,
yay!
Hail Gary as what kind of Chad do you have to be to mix in Don Perignon with orange juice? Asked just another
Massive Chad.
Massive Chad.
Giga Chad.
Giga Chad. Mega Giga Chad. Az and I are going to be starting a Mega Giga Chad Be a Man program.
Yeah.
All right. For $50,000 a month, we'll teach you how to pee standing up.
Yeah, baby.
And don't tuck. No tucking. For the low price of $75,000 a month. Did I just raise the price? No.
Yeah, 20 grand.
We'll do it for free. Fuck it.
No, I won't.
Don't tuck. Pee standing up.
Here's the way how to be a man. Don't go around telling people how to be a man.
And shove a dildo up your ass.
And then shove an 8-inch dildo up your ass and talk about having sex with college boys' tight asses.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, no kink shaming. If that's your thing, good for you. But yeah, if you want to run around like you're trying to like I think it was I finally got an answer of what it was like basically coaching guys how to get laid.
You're never going to be able to do that. That doesn't happen.
I save your money, and I know it's not easy for everybody, and we've all been there at some point in time. Walk through your fears. It's just rejection. That's what stops most people, is that just getting shot down by a woman. You're going to get shot down. Go get shot down 4 or 5 times. Go walk through it and like realize like, oh, I survived. I'm intact. And just keep trying. Those who try the most fail the most. Hey, Gary. Happy New Year, mate. So is Jodie Whittaker going to go? Oh, I read this one. Had a quick idea for the next Doctor. Noel Fielding. Man, yeah. Noel Fielding. He's got the hair. He's a bit odd, and he works with Matt Lucas on Bake Off. Noel Fielding. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I know who Noel Fielding is. I know. Look, we know the Doctor's quirky, but I wouldn't personally like to see Noel Fieldman as the Doctor at all.
Yeah. No.
Just think of Noel Fieldman as a discount Russell Brand.
Is he like a rock star? Is that how he acts? Or
well, you know, tight pants, big hair, kind of like a glam rock. Kind of sort of has that glam rock, but he's a actor comedian.
Oh, he is not handsome. Look at that jaw. Wow. Look at the size of that head.
Blimey.
Yeah, he looks like okay. No, I don't think so.
He's the guy from the Mighty Boosh.
Yeah, like Russell. I wouldn't want Russell Brand as a Doctor. So
no. I don't think it's the right kind of quirky. I think that's stereotypical quirky.
Yeah, the Doctor should be a character actor. I just think that's what David Tennant started as. He was just a character actor. Matt Smith, newcomer. Peter Capaldi, like, I know he's a big star over there, started his own show, but he's still a character actor. But Capaldi's got massive range too. He's very good at what he does. I say you swing for the fences. I say you learn the lesson from Spider-Man. You take a little extra time. You realize that there's some healing that has to be done for this franchise if you really want to set it off into the future and do things. And I think you reset without resetting, and there's a way to reset. I just gave you the way to reset, free of charge, Sony and Bad Wolf.
You're right. You're absolutely right. There has got to the next season. If you are truly looking to repair the series, that's the first question. Are you looking to repair it, or are you looking to triple down on ideology? But if Russell T Davies is just like, no, we need to repair this, there has to be a humongous amount of not fan service, but there has to be a humongous amount of genuineness, earnestness about what you want to do with the show to the audience. There has to be a huge amount of this is I really want to get this back on track. Okay, I want to get this repaired. I want to get this. Whatever you thought of the Jodie era, this is what the Doctor was, and this is what made the Doctor great. But I just got this. There's just a feeling I have inside of me that we're gonna get a very poor choice of Doctor.
You know what? It would require something that people in entertainment just aren't capable of. Swallowing a little
yeah.
Swallowing a little pride. You're going to bruise Chris Chibnall's ego. Who gives a fuck? His paycheck cashed just fine, and he's a fucking moron who's been given way too much. Considering level.
I mean, I've heard a couple of things. I've heard a couple of things that Russell T Davidson is actually not a fan of Chibnall at all. And this lip service that he's paying to him is more sarcastic than legitimate. But
I've heard the same thing.
I don't know. I guess the proof will be in the pudding. You know, of what Russell tries to do, and but I he's earned. Russell T Davies has earned. He's earned my respect. I can't speak on behalf of any others. And to me, he's earned a chance.
Yep.
And I really, and I know time's gone on. I know this is 16 years on, 17, 18, whenever he gets hold of it, years on from when he first took over. But I'm really hoping that we still have that same attitude from him. We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, we're getting Babylon 5 back with Straczynski, and it doesn't look
on the CW.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Why are you criticizing? I got a big budget and full control." And I'm like,
"You did Sense8, dude."
You ain't.
Michael B, aka Shogun Gaming, thank you for the phallic unicorn for 14 Danish krona. I appreciate it. Let's give this a little refresher here. We do have to wrap things up in a bit. Damian Lewis, 100%
sure.
comics. Says Eric K for $2. Damian Lewis. When I call out how bad Doctor Who is currently on social media, I am told it's not for you anymore. Arrogant, entitled young twerps. Gays of my age fought hard for rights that you are trashing.
They're not even watching it either. Those people do.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like how groundbreaking was Captain Jack, the arguably second to third most popular character on the fucking show. People were clamoring for him. Nobody made a single fucking issue about him being gay.
And everyone knew Russell T Davies was gay.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. It doesn't. I mean, this is old fucking news. All right, it's fine. It's totally fine. I hope
because once upon a time it wasn't an issue, Gary. It was never an issue before, and now it's an ideological stamp.
Yeah. It's and I do. I mean, I don't know what's like in your shoes, okay, but you have my sympathy, my empathy to watch your just one aspect of your life be used, politicized, weaponized. That is going to create some genuine backlash that reverts everything and all the fucking progress you guys have made.
Well, take Yaz for it. Like Captain Jack. Captain Jack was pansexual. I think that's his technical sexuality. And he was attracted to Rose, and he's attracted to the Doctor, and he's had males, all that yada yada yada. Look at Yaz. There has been no character development with Yaz as a potential lover to the Doctor. None. We've had a few little looks, and in today's episode, we get Dan going, "Oh, I see that you're a big leisure and you really like the Doctor. Have you told the Doctor you're a big leisure?" And Yaz is just like, "I haven't even told myself, but oh my God, yeah. And it was so contrived and pathetic. And then you look at, and then you think, yeah, but it's unrequited love as. Look at Martha Jones. That was unrequited love. The Doctor had just come out of a relationship, you could say, with Rose. And Martha was pretty. And Martha was smart. And the Doctor wanted Martha to like him, but he didn't have any interest.
No, he just wanted to mate. He wanted
to be the star of the show. He wanted somebody to look at him with googly eyes and be like, "Oh my God, you are fucking incredible," because that's what he had with Rose. And so you had him flirting, but in a way that he wasn't looking for it to be reciprocated. He wasn't interested in the reciprocation of it. But the problem was Martha was. She was attracted to him from the start, and he knew that. And so you had this, particularly in the Cornell two-parter. You had her really kind of come to the forth with how she
family of
blood, and how she truly felt about the Doctor and how it broke her heart. And human nature, when he became human, he went and fancied someone else. He fancied somebody completely different. And yet, did Martha get bitter? Did it change who Martha was? No, she did everything in her power to protect the Doctor. Everything. And then it's so satisfying at the end of her run, and she should have had more. She should have had at least another season as a companion. But even when she left and she's like, "This is where I'm getting off," and then she leaves, and then she's like, "No." Then she comes back and gives him like a piece of her mind.
Speech. You know, because my mate was like, she waited too long. Listen, for one, she was hot.
Prima Hageman, yeah.
Really, she's hot. I would say second hottest companion to Perry.
Oh, I know. I think Perry. I think our beautiful Clara is just.
Clara's hot but annoying. It annoys me. Jenna Coleman's no. I think Freema. I personally think Freema's more attractive than Jenna Coleman. People might think I'm crazy for that, but I do. Perry though.
Oh, Perry's numero uno.
That's my kind of woman.
she's numero uno.
Yeah.
She's American as well.
Giant fucking tits.
Great.
And they are just bobbing around.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Big fan of the Fifth Doctor era. Okay. Jodie regenerates into a rainbow. Show ends beyond the fan.
No, Jodie regenerates into a pride flag, probably.
It's what they're doing with Keaton in The Flash. Also, I wouldn't doubt seeing a CGI Reeves either, says DC all the way. I wouldn't either. after what they did with Harold Ramis. I wouldn't either. The thing is, though, it's not going to be anywhere near as good as Spider-Man because Ezra Miller is going to be in it. I can't wait to see Michael Keaton in the Batman costume. I can't wait. I can't wait to see Ben Affleck one more time. And DC fans, you deserve better. You deserve so much better. You've been loyal. You've been good. And
now we're getting what Warner Brothers want, though, which is identity politics.
They don't listen to you. And more importantly, the regime that's in charge right now, they don't like you. They flat out don't like you. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but the God, I keep forgetting her name. She fucking can't stand you. She's a terrible person to be in charge. And hopefully she will not be in charge very much longer. But then you have to wait another 5 years to cycle through because you're stuck with Jar Jar. You are stuck with him for at least 3 more years.
Sorry, which woman are you talking about? Who?
The one who's in charge of not HBO Max, but she's I'll look her up real quick.
You'll
she's
look
got
her
blonde
up.
hair. CEO of Warner Brothers. She's in charge of programming or some shit. Ann Sarnoff. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She's still around, right? Is it Ann Sarnoff? Yeah, the chairwoman and CEO of Warner Brothers. She fucking hates Snyder Cut people. Hates them. The whole kerfuffle. Oh, I don't know how much I could
because it was their version was shit.
Listen, boy, I almost said too much. There's a couple of things that I know that I can't tell you that are directly related to Warner Brothers. They really don't like vocal fans. We'll just say that. And I'm going to tell that story one day. I'm
customers, Gary. Customers,
paying customers. And I'm doing it to protect somebody who works there, who was kind enough to do something very generous. And it got thrown in both of our faces. And then there was the whole, Snyder Cut charity thing, which was a fucking mess. The big takeaway from that is like poor Jeremy got blamed, which he shouldn't have been blamed for jack shit. By the way, that's a narrative that should have never fucking happened. Because I know what went on. The takeaway was Warner Brothers was afraid of us. They were fucking afraid of us. They were afraid we were going to fuck up their movie. And guess what? Az and I liked it a lot. I made a positive video about it, praising it. So did you. Videos did pretty well. There's no need to be afraid of us. Listen to us. We might get mad at you, but if you're willing to fucking listen, we'll talk. But that narrative got buried under all the unnecessary bullshit that was put on Jeremy, which again, he didn't deserve. He simply wanted to do something nice for Ryan, nice for Lethal, nice for the Geeks and Gamers audience. That's all I wanted to do. And we raised $100,000 too.
Yeah.
But that all got shit on, which I won't, forgive, don't forget. Fucking Warner Brothers. I'll tell the story someday because, man, Az knows it. Tenet is necessary, but what would be great would be a crossover episode with Gary Oldman as a middle-aged first Doctor. DC, that would be interesting. I like that take. I think that's really cool. Like a younger first Doctor.
I was thinking the other day, yesterday, actually, after watching End of Time Part 1 and 2, that they could have done, you could do a first Doctor story with the Master and how this, the schism between them happened and stuff. You could do some. I would love to see the Master and the Doctor in the TARDIS together.
Kate, C, aka Snake Plush Kitten. Now you're thinking. Think fucking big. No, not some sitcom actor that's gonna make not the shit they would normally do, right? Yeah, the show's not in good shape. The show needs to do something spectacular. And they made a good first step getting Russell T. Davies. Because that was a pipe dream. Russell T. Davies said he wasn't going to come back over and over again. It reminded him of his dead fucking husband. Okay, so like it's totally understandable. But the great story behind this is he wanted to come back. They didn't just back up a Brinks truck to him. He wanted to come back. So we'll see. I totally expect the same old to happen. They get some normal actor and stuff, but they need to do something fucking incredible. They need to outdo the 50th anniversary big time. Have you guys seen Super Crooks yet? DCG. I have not. Have you? Thank you for the 279.
No.
Look up HBO's Peacemaker. Poster looks terrible. Everything looks terrible about it. And I like Suicide Squad. Turo, thank you for the $2. What's terrible about it, though? I'll look it up. Squint Provolone. Hail, Gary. I'm enjoying the Hartnell years. Thank you. Oh, yes. There's, it took me a while to come around on those, but I did. JWT6577. Congrats. You're now being sued alongside the quartering. Maybe you can do an FNT from the hearing. Am I? Great.
Yay.
Is the quartering getting sued? Did they make that official?
Well, maybe he might be.
Thoughts on Tom Felton as the Doctor? I'd be okay with that. I think Tom Felton's a good actor. He was in a show, a YouTube original that I can't remember the name of now, about some evil on a spaceship. They're trapped on a spaceship and something's trying to kill him. I can't remember because the show was just forgettable. But I think he's a pretty good actor now. He's grown up to be a good actor. That's Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter.
I saw him in The Flash and that killed it. Killed.
He wasn't very good in that? No? Okay. I've always said Sean Pertwee for Doctor Who. I would too, but they need to go younger right now. But I think down the road wouldn't be. Listen, I'd take that.
Look,
right.
Sean Pertwee to play the third Doctor, though, in a story. You could have him playing his dad.
Fun. Oh, that'd be good.
There you go. How about boom?
Tom Brown, Hugh Laurie for the Doctor. Again, I think there was a time for that.
Yeah.
I think it's too repetitive with Capaldi. Rowan Atkinson, next Doctor. He would be hilarious. George Andre. We need to think 40s, late 40s.
I think 30s, personally.
30s. Okay, mid 30s to early 40s. How's that sound?
Yeah. I think around Eccleston age at the top limit when he started as the Doctor. And I would go as low as Matt Smith age.
Do you know that I am only 3 years younger than William Hartnell when he took the role?
Really? They used to look a lot older in those days.
Lived fucking hard, man. Lived hard.
They didn't have the comforts of today.
Well, they didn't. We eat a lot better. We take better care of ourselves. I wonder if there's something to that, all the preservatives in the food. I wonder if there's something to that. I mean, because people are
preserving our faces.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's there's steroids in chicken, and they say that might be making people are getting bigger. But I think it's just because we're eating healthier. They have shown through history that during warmer periods in our climate, crops grow more vegetation, our stature tends to grow, birth rate, mortality rate goes down. When it gets colder, when we have mini ice ages and stuff, stature goes down, mortality rates go up. We look a lot sicklier. And we're really in a nice period right now, despite what Al Gore tells you. Congrats now on being okay. Thoughts on Tom Felton, Sean Pertwee, Rowan Atkinson, no Felding, no, says Def 81. So I think they agree with you as Yeah, because that guy was no. When I call out bad Doctor Who, so okay, we did Damian Lewis 100% best choice, says Eric K. So I thought you said comics. I don't know who's Damian Lewis.
He was the guy from the first season of Homeland. The soldier in Homeland, ginger hair.
I have no problem with him. As a matter of fact, before Charlie Cox was picked for Daredevil, I wanted him to play Daredevil because he's a redhead.
Well, okay. I had to catch up to the logic. Okay, now I get it. Yeah.
I was like, no, this guy needs to play Daredevil. This guy, and they picked Charlie Cox. I'm like, why? That first season of what was the fucking show he was in again? It was
Homeland.
Yeah, that was fucking good, man. That was good. Like when he prayed for the first, when he did that Muslim
in
prayer
the garage
for this, yeah,
and his daughter came in.
Yeah,
was it daughter came in at one point?
Yeah, he's a full-on sleeper agent.
Hey, did you see the pilot of that
Homeland?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I must have. I saw the first one. Yeah,
titties ahoy! You know,
it's fucking.
That's because that's what they do. They like put stuff out there. This is going to be like, you know, this and that, and then the studios come back and go, okay, we like it, but we're going to cut the nudity. You know, for the so you get these pilots which are just like,
but it's
completely different to the rest of the show.
I don't know. Was that a BBC co-production? Maybe.
I'm not sure. Possibly.
It went on too long. Like once they got rid of Damien, like it just went on too long.
Oh, I watched the thing 2 seasons. I was done.
2 seasons. They were really good. Really, it was like Melissa. Like she's like this show is too tense. It's so fucking tense. Like because like it was good. And what's her name was in it? From My So-Called
Claire Danes.
Claire Danes. Yeah. I'm sorry, but Karen Gillan is the hottest companion. I love me a ginger, especially a Celtic ginger. Stop the ginger side.
Ginger side, yeah.
She's really hot. She's a little goofy, a little gangly, but she's really hot. But you know what's funny though is how different she is, and you can tell when they interviewed her, she's a party girl, dude.
Oh yeah, big time.
Well, remember she got in trouble. She got in trouble because she locked herself out of a hotel room butt ass naked in New York when they went out and did a Doctor Who thing. Yeah. They had to collect her. They had to collect her naked and put her back in her hotel room. But like, go watch. Like, they don't interview her a lot on Doctor Who Confidential because she's like, but we love her. And listen, my favorite female Marvel character is Nebula. I love the fucking arc of Nebula. That scene in Endgame, that little scene between her and Tony, it's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
When she's playing like little football thing and I love it.
And then you win.
Yeah, she's in the top. There's been a lot of hot companions though. I mean, like a lot, and she's in the top 4 for sure. I don't know why Freema. I'm not going to say like Jenna Coleman is like a classic beauty, right? Like,
oh yeah, she's just really pretty.
Oh, what's her name? The first Romana. What's her name? She passed away. She's hot. She is like girl, right?
The brunette.
Yeah.
That wasn't. No.
Mary Tam. Well, I don't know why I forgot her name. I mean, she is smoking hot, or was. She passed away. Very sad.
We all got
2012, God, right after Elizabeth Sladen. Yeah.
Oh, that was so sad.
Mary Tam is, she's in top 5. All right. After like being so toxically masculine and fucking sizing up companions.
Yeah.
What if, I'd like to write a series of books, tell all of just how the doctor just banged all his companions. All the girl, all the ones of age. All right.
I bet there were shenanigans going on.
Oh, come on. I love how we've never seen like that much of the TARDIS. Like a wardrobe room here and there, but we've just never seen. I love that. That's like, there's so many things they fucked up. Thank you, Gary and Az. Much love to you both. Off topic, but have you either seen Marvel Comics, the Marvel cartoon? Have you seen the Marvel cartoon Hit Monkey on Hulu? It seems to have went under everyone's radar and really good compared to the rest of Marvel crap this year, in my opinion. Is it, John, is it woke? That's what I'm going to ask. Hit Monkey was a cool comic. I liked it. No, I haven't seen it. Completely forgot it came out. I'll check it out, though. As Hangover today, right after the regeneration of, right after the regeneration in the 11th hour, the doctor grabs his hair and exclaims, "I'm a girl!" Right?
I'm a girl! Yeah. Then he checks his Adam's apple.
The doctor sees himself as a man and still not a ginger. I just watched that in that video, Tracy. WG.
I watched it yesterday. No hangover. No hangover. If you, this is the trick of not getting a hangover, folks. You stick to the same drink all night.
Yeah.
And then you drink a good glass of water before you go to bed. And that's exactly what I did. Zero hangover.
You want to be a good drug addict like I was, an alcoholic, is you just stay fucking loaded. Stay loaded.
Always keep the buzz going.
Always keep that buzz going. A WG for 5250. Thank you very much. Says, "Hail Gary and Az, I'm donating a quarter for every time New Year's resolution Az has broken today. Please do please do better, Az, for heaven's sake. For heaven's sake. Put some mittens on when viewing the Sideshow Collectibles website. All jokes aside, keep up the great work, boys." Thank you, WG. Mittens. We have to get toilet paper out when we're looking at the Sideshow website because it's pouring to us. Okay. Just kidding.
I'm not.
Robert McDonald for $50 says, "Did Disney ask Jack Murph-Cucky what they want in their alpha male audience?" Maybe that's who they talk to. Maybe they did the liminal order marketing research. I don't know how RTD retcons the Chibnall era, assuming he even has the desire to do so. Irreparable damage has been done to the franchise, just like Star Wars. I'll give it a few episodes while expecting the worst and hoping for the best," says Caligula for $10. I'm giving him like one. It's the special. It's the 60th anniversary special. You wanted to start out with that. And like, if it's not a good choice for the doctor, I'm not even giving him that. Then I think it's dead to me, and I can just.
I think there's a lot to be said, folks, for the casting of the next Doctor. I think that's going to point highly into the direction that the show's going to go. And sometimes you just got to say goodbye. So we'll see. But this next casting for the Doctor is I possibly think the most important casting yet to date.
Yeah. It's the single most important decision probably outside of when you first started Doctor Who, or wait, okay, well, no, I think this is the single most important decision for the show now. In retrospect, it's on life support. I'd say it's dead. So basically, it just croaked. You have a certain amount of time to get out the defibrillator and fucking pop it, and this is it. The defibrillator's out. You've done this.
You warmed up the paddles. Yep.
And you're going in, and that's it. I am prepared for it to it's dead to me now. It is dead to me. And if that changes, that'd be great. Because then we can point to this and say, shit's turning around. Shit's really turning around. And I just don't think that's going to happen.
I watched this current show. Like, you know, I'll watch it and I'll comment on it. But never at any point do I think of Jodie as the Doctor.
No.
They are a person on Doctor Who. But they don't in any way, shape, or form resemble, sound like, look like the Doctor. So to me, it's just this imposter in the box right now.
Yep. There's nothing iconic about the series. Her sonic screwdriver, like, legitimately looks terrible. The interior of the TARDIS looks terrible. The designers are just awful. The only recognizable thing is the exterior of the TARDIS. That's it. That is it. That is all. A couple more to read here. SJ Almighty for 1353. Happy New Year to everyone. Really can't wait for this era of Doctor Who to be over. Really hope I read this one. Did I read? No, I didn't. Really hope RTD turns things around. I really shouldn't watch it anymore, but I did read this one. And Darth Gorbag for 1818. I think I read that one too, but I didn't say. Okay, so we're caught up on that. I did read it. All right. So that's it. We're going to wrap things up. Hopefully I didn't miss too many here. Let me refresh here again. Thanks for staying this long. It's always great talking about Doctor Who to you. And I mean, we talked about fuck this episode. It was fucking boring and it didn't deal with it. It shows that Chibnall doesn't want to deal with the timeless children. They had it planned, but they didn't really think it through. It was just to cement Jodie's legacy because they couldn't create one for her through good storytelling, because they figured out, listen, they have all the eternal data as they figured out she wasn't popular. She's not very good, but we can't get rid of her. So we reduce her episode count. We give her every chance in the world. We fulfill our contract and then we move on. Piers Wenger and hey, they swung for the fences in the beginning, but they didn't want to do the work. They gave it a shot. They failed miserably, just like we thought they would.
House priest.
Phoenix Rising. You said you got one. I'll find it, buddy. Declan Lyon says, Gary, David Tennant and Catherine Tate both appeared on the UK show called Nevermind. The Buzzcocks. If you haven't already seen it, treat yourself. If you haven't seen it, shame on you.
I've seen a few Nevermind, but I hate Phil Jupiter. Phil Jupiter's a fucking bell end.
Bruce Campbell as the Doctor. He's got to be British. I love Bruce Campbell, though. Bruce Campbell can be the Master.
I like that.
Yeah. I fucking love Bruce Campbell.
Do you notice that this is a special?
Thank you for the $2.
Sorry, dude.
That was Phoenix Rising for the $2. You go on.
Okay. This is a Doctor Who special. One of the last couple leading into the regeneration. And Jodie said in this episode, my past is catching up to me. And that was the only mention of any sort of regenerative, foreboding. And I'm just like, why? What past is catching up to you? It was just some really generic line, but
yeah,
what have you done that's caused your past to catch up with you?
Yeah, that was a weird. I didn't know what that meant, and I just took it as some stupid throwaway line. And then the fact that they say that and they don't answer it, they're just trying.
It's lack of detail. It's lack of detail. It's this is Chibnall through and through. Just doesn't have any. There aren't any payoffs to anything. everything's throwaway. Oh, I need this to happen, so I'm just going to write it to happen. But how it happened, like Claire turning up in Flux on the first episode, never could happen. So why did it happen? You could have had her just as introduce her as a new character in a different situation. But having her go to the doctor, go, hi, hey, doctor, we're going to have something to do with each other in episode 4. See you then. Even though that could never happen. Because of he just doesn't care. There's no detail. And when there's no attention to detail, then stuff looks rushed and messy and like you don't care. So if you don't care, why do we care? Pisses me off.
As it should. All right, so there's a couple more I gotta read. Refreshed it. Fucking. No, I hate how I'll go through a list and then I'll refresh it and it inserts super chats, right? That are not in the order. It's like so fucking frustrating. It's like, can't you figure this fucking out, YouTube? It's been, I don't know, 3 years. Mikey Gussler says, hearing the news from multiple sources, I'm upset. WB hates money and fans. Snyder Cut was obviously successful. Cavill and Affleck, Snyder want to come back. I hope Discovery fires everyone at WB. Here's the deal, though. Like, that's 5 years from now. Discovery takes over. You have to wait till contracts, or they have to honor contracts. And they're not just going to fucking toss out $500 million to Jar Jar Abrams, man. And it sucks. You should be mad. And by the time they're willing to do and turn around stuff, superhero movies will be deader than fucking dead. They're already on their way. Spider-Man, what are you talking about? Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man No Way Home. It's a gimmick. Avengers was popular because you got the superheroes together and you told a great story. Iron Man was popular because you got a Superman, you got an Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., and you told a great story. Now we need multiple Spider-Mans and superheroes and things, and we need to start throwing more because it gets bigger and bigger. And what they don't learn is you can dial shit back down a little bit. And a great way to do that would have been with Daredevil, but they did. So yeah, I'm sorry, Mikey. I truly am. I would love for this thing to go on forever. It was Jay Carter. Here it goes. Happy New Year, gentlemen. If you haven't already watched the Northman trailer. Oh, we watched it on Real BBC. Alexander Skarsgård as a yoked up Nordic savage on a quest for revenge, directed by Robert Eggers. Looks awesome. Yeah, we watched it. It's got Bjork in it. It looks fucking fantastic. Can't wait to see it. Jay Carter. So he said, I think you skipped my super chat from earlier about Northman. So $4.99. But yeah, but you missed the BBC where we talked about it. But that's okay. That's okay. It was buried in like a 5-hour episode. So yeah, I can't believe you're not watching every second of our content. But thank you for the super chats. Matthew Burrows, thank you for the $5. It looked like Beep Bop Boop. Most overrated, underrated episodes of Doctor Who. Wow. We don't have time to answer that. What's the most underrated episode? We'll do that for you. What's your
Doctor Who?
Yeah, we'll say modern.
Underrated episode of Doctor. Well, I don't know how class, but I think Deep Breath is absolute. I think it's right up there with one of the greatest episodes of New Who.
I would call that underrated. I would. Asylum of the Daleks. I think it's fucking fantastic episode.
Great twist. Yeah. Great twist at the end. Great way to introduce Clara as well.
It was Clara that was like, oh, remember when she was flirty? She's like hitting on Rory and stuff. That was great. She was making her souffles.
Monsters, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, she was so good in Snowman too.
Snowman's a great episode. Great Christmas episode as well.
Remember Outpost Rose in the Flux? And I was dumb enough to think that might lead into anything other than fucking they just called it Rose.
It led somewhere, Gary. It led to more disappointment.
Generations of family bonding shattered by hubris, says Eric K for $2.
Yeah.
Lord Thoth, Happy New Year, Gary, as an FNT crew and the mods and the chat and everyone's friends and families. Be safe and have a great 2022. And that's what we're going to
folks, there's some, I mean, I would love to say something about Doctor Who, but I can't. You just can't on YouTube. Even though it's true, you just can't say this anymore, and it's so sad. But you know, there's reasons that we can't discuss why Doctor Who's failing miserably as well. Because today's modern society just won't allow that stuff to be said without silencing you and censoring you and canceling you and trying to destroy your life.
Yeah, like we've had years now of being called alt-right and misogynist, and like, again, I don't give a fuck what people fucking say. You know, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat or left or right. It's not. I know most people aren't. Most people are like, we'll go by the issue. We'll just call out. We call out bullshit. It's bullshit. And just because we call out shit doesn't mean we're against everything, right? So not everything needs to have gay representation. And you know what? There can be shows out there without a single straight person in it. I don't give a fuck. But not everything has to have everything. You know what? I don't think there should be any LGBTQ plus representation in fucking Lord of the Rings. Doesn't mean I'm against LGBTQ plus people. I just don't think it belongs in that story. Just the same way as I don't want to see a Numenorian butt fucking a female elf, even if it's or a missionary. I don't want to see any fucking at all in it. I don't want to see tits in it. I like tits. I don't need to see it in Lord of the Rings. You know what? I also don't want to see it in Doctor Who. Not everything.
Horses for courses.
Fucking everything. All right, Jesus. Especially when it's like established stories. Make new stories, make new characters, make them gay, make them interesting. More importantly, make them interesting. But we can't do that anymore. We can't. We can talk about it. We'll get in trouble for certain stuff, especially when it comes to even slightly criticizing anything trans. Anything trans. I mean, look. Fucking Gina lost her. That's what she lost her job over.
Yeah,
it was beep, boop, boop. Fucking 0.0.
The crime had already been committed
of the population, and I would argue most people don't really care how you dress, what you identify. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that much about you, for one.
Most people who claim to be trans on Twitter are not at all. They're attention seekers.
Attention seekers. There's a lot of mental health issues out there.
And again, the only people it hurts are the legitimate trans community. That's the only people that this ultimately hurts. And that's the sad reality. That is the sad reality.
And you're already accepted. I accept you. If you're happy and it makes you happy and you're not hurting anybody, I accept you. I might not necessarily refer to you how you like all the time because I'm not a fucking mind reader, but yeah, you're accepted. But what's going on in Hollywood is they don't really care about you. They don't care about any of these causes.
No.
And they right now they are deliberately trying to deconstruct traditional heroes, masculinity. They are discriminating against masculinity now. This is something I didn't think I would be saying 3 or 4 years ago. But like misandry is fucking real. Remember when they used to laugh that off? Misandry. How dare you say misandry? Misandry doesn't exist. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
You must hate women. I don't know. No. I'm married. I've been married to, I've known one for over 30 years. We're still together. She's a woman, kind of like her a lot. So, all right. So if I skipped one, sorry, I'll get it in the square up. Okay. I do have to go. It's like 4:00. I was going to go for an hour. That's how famous last words, but I think it's been a lot of fun and it's very therapeutic to talk about these. And we'll be back for the next episode in a few months. Az and I and Mahler very soon we'll be once we all can coordinate, we'll be talking about the End of Time part 1 and 2, and we're just going to gush for 2 hours how much we love that episode.
I can do that.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug coming up? Anything exciting coming up, buddy?
Real BBC on Tuesday.
Yeah. Show's growing. It's a grower and a shower.
A grower and a shower. Yeah. So yeah, Real BBC on Tuesday. I'm bringing, just as a special guest this week, bringing Steph in my nerdy home.
Okay.
Because Steph's done a ton of stuff for us. Like, she helps out and coordinates. Well, I say coordinate. She helps out a lot behind the scenes, and we've been trying. I wanted to do a stream with her, so I'm gonna just bring her on for this week's Real BBC and make the first one of the new year. Plenty of people now that we've got Nina full time as well.
Yeah, Nina coming on is great. Absolutely great.
Yeah,
no, I love Steph, and I'm going to be living close to her now.
Woo!
Yeah, my wife made it to Texas. They're unloading the truck. It's happening. Quarter Blacks. We're gonna summon him over to start working on the studio. I've got to make a massive. I told Quarter Black I'd be buying equipment, but I'm kind of wanting to wait. So I'm going to be purchasing all kinds of fun stuff. It's going to cost a lot of money to get ready, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I got a lot of shit to do though. It's great having Nina on the Real BBC. Yeah, she's just perfect fit. Like, it was like, that's when like when Az came on Friday Night Tights, I'm like, Dad, this is a great fit. Like, it just works. You just know when the chemistry fits, and that's the sign of a good streamer. Nina's been streaming for a long time with John Talks, who's a very good channel, nice guy. And she's got that experience. Mahler's one of the best streamers alive. So yeah, we're lucky. We're really lucky. Excellent. Hawkeye review will be out tomorrow morning, I think. Nobody cares about the show anymore, but damn it, I got sick. I had so many plans. I had a big video planned that would have been great. It's going to be a week late, but I guess that's just I guess you guys are used to that. So there's another great video coming up after that. I am going to do a Doctor Who Flux review, but I'm going to do, there's some things I need to do first, including Picard. So, Hawkeye review part 2 coming out. And Monday, low tier content starts on Nerdrotic Daily. Because since Perry's shifting over to being my editor more on the main channel, he's not, we're still taking clips out of live streams and putting them on Nerdrotic Daily. But I'm also going to be doing some like low tier stuff where I just read an article for like 5 or 7 minutes, and it's we're going to shoot for that happening every day, and it can actually be Nerdrotic Daily. So look for that. And thanks everyone. Love you guys. Thanks to the Modrotics. Happy New Year. Bless your little hearts. And we will win. I just don't know how many franchises will be left. And maybe the ones that were untouched, stuff like Conan and The Shadow will probably be the things that survive.
What?
What's up?
Great.
What?
So Superman was captured for 8 months and raped?
Raped, yeah. In Superman Black and Blue or Blue and Red. It happened about 8 months ago, but it's just got around. Degenerate fuckers.
Degenerates.
Yeah.
Degenerates.
So I imagine we'll be talking about that
Jim
on
Lee.
BBC.
Jim Lee. You're a fucking coward. You are a fucking coward that has been instrumental in the fucking destruction of the industry you profess to love. You're a bitch. You're a fucking bitch-made coward that has allowed these degenerates to do these to these beloved characters. You are a fucking shill. You're a phony. You're a fake. Go fuck yourself.
And you always have been, dude. And I'm glad
Piece
people are
of
going to
shit.
finally see that. People have been just gushing over this guy. For one, your art ain't that great proportionally. Learn how to fucking draw some feet. Talk about people get on Rob Liefeld. Go look at Jim Lee's feet. Mark Silvestri's better and wouldn't fuck up DC this bad. But yeah, that's videos to come on that one. And yes, we are talking about that on Real BBC. It's unbelievable. So on that note, as we get Spider-Man, I told you, Hollywood, the BBC Entertainment will learn all the wrong lessons. All the wrong. So go watch Spider-Man and enjoy it. Or watch some old Doctor Who. Watch End of Time. And we'll let you all know when we're going to see that. But now we got some other fish to fry. So ciao, everybody. We love you.
Bye.